be there before.
You tuned in to episode 91, the Goodfellas podcast. G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. Got my main man VP Shane in the building. What's going on, good brother?
Surviving.
Surviving out here in these streets, man. Down the bottom, got Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K in the building. What's going on, good brother?
Man, RIP to the peoples in Buffalo and everything, and to the rest of the folks, keep your head on the swivel.
What happened in Buffalo?
Man, that boy went in there and knocked off like 10, 11 people and shit, bro.
Dude ran into a market, ran into like a supermarket and just started shooting people.
Oh, just a random dude.
Just random.
Nah, it ain't white supremacist, man.
White supremacist.
Shit. Oh, yeah, it's clear enough.
Yeah, so
a white dude came in there and just shot a bunch of black people. Hey.
Yeah, just it's crazy, man. But episode 91.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? We coming off of a great weekend of fights. We got he might have been in some people's pound for pound, but he should be in everybody's pound for pound now. In my opinion, Jermell Charlo gets a 10th round knockout victory over Brian Castano. Gets undisputed. He's undisputed at 154 pounds.
One champion, one face, one name.
Absolutely.
That's Jermell Charlo.
The name is Jermell Charlo, man, and he definitely did his thing. For the people that I don't know where y'all was at, but we was definitely live for that. But I guess Shane, let me get in these comments real quick. Willie G in the building. Big shout out to you. Said what's good, fellas. Big shout out to you, Willie G. Adrian in the building. He said what's up, fellas. What's up with you, bro? Willie G said Charlo did his thing. Yeah, I'm gonna actually let Shane kick off on this one, man. Just for the people that wasn't with us on fight night, just give us your spiel on Jermell Charlo and his performance versus Castano. This whole fight period.
I feel like, for one, Jermell Charlo came in prepared, and we saw that on the scales. The dude came in 152. He didn't even have to worry about weight or nothing, and already you could tell this is a dude who was focused and well in tune. He had a game plan. He knew the game plan. It was just whether he was going to stick to the game plan. And from the first round, you could tell that he was establishing dominance. He was establishing distance, and he was just showing off his skills. I feel like Derek James brought up a point of it was a fight of three phases, and I feel like that was more down to how good Jermell Charlo is. Even when Castano was having the successes that he was having, it was more down to Charlo. It was more by design. Charlo, it wasn't Castano taking advantage of Charlo's mistakes. It was Charlo acknowledging the weaknesses and strengths of Castano and how to exploit it. So even when you look at the round that he stopped Castano in, before the stoppage, it was Castano's best round. And we were saying on live that this is a clear indication of Charlo looking to get the stoppage. He started to hold his feet. He came with the high guard, and he almost abandoned what he was doing in the first half of the fight purely and simply because he had realized that he had got to him and it was time to get his man out of there. So I got to give him credit. I don't think there's much flaws in his performance, if any. Sometimes you just have those performances where you're faultless. And I feel like he was the deserved winner. He deserves all the credit and admiration that he's getting right now. And he done well, man. It's a good performance.
Vlog on you, baby.
You already know, man. Like I told you earlier, I'm ahead of the curve like I knew something because I've been told y'all this man was pound for pound. So, he made history and proved that he should have already have been on your list because history was in his lineup. It was in his wheelhouse to be able to do this. Cleaning out the division, got the possibility to, really start getting his chips up, getting a little bit of respect on the pay-per-view side of the game possibility. I mean, I know that was a small arena that they was in, but what he did in that arena should catapult him to a bigger stage. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And him being able to travel too. You know what I mean? You know, he went in quote unquote the enemy's backyard and did work. So, you know what I mean? Again, you can't say too much outside of his skills was proven. We've seen him counterpunch great. We've seen him jab when he wants to. You know, he's got the all-around package. And he got a chin. Probably one of the best chins in the game right now. Outside, you know, Spence, obviously, another dude we just seen, you know, get touched up, but got a hell of a chin. And we seen him in 2 fights with Castano take, you know, a few decent shots.
Yeah, let me get in these comments real quick. T. Finney in the building. Big shout out to T. Finney. Said happy for Charlo, the new undisputed champ. Yeah, I'm happy for him too, man. I'm gonna get into why in a second though. Jamie Leroy in the building. Big shout out to you. Said Derek James deserves some respect as a trainer.
I think Derek James always had respect as a trainer. I don't think anyone ever disrespected Derek James as a trainer. I don't think he's ever had.
Not when he ain't been in trainer of the year running. It's just automatically been handed over to the boy Reynoso for the past 2 years.
I mean, he's always been in the running.
That he ain't really no good.
He's always been in the running. It's just always been given to Reynoso purely and simply down to the success of Canelo. And to me, I keep it real. I always say this: a great fighter doesn't mean a great trainer. To me, great trainers are trainers who take a fighter from point B and you can see steady progression. You know, you can actually see trajectory. You were here and now you're here. You know, that's what I class a great trainer as. So, I was never hung up on Eddie Reynoso because of Canelo's success. And no disrespect to Derek James, and I respect everything Derek James done in the sport, just like I respect everything Reynoso's done in the sport. But I would argue that neither one of them are the best trainers in the sport.
Who would you say is that's an interesting comment. Who would you say is some of the best trainers in the sport?
I mean, it depends on stylistically what you want, you know, and how you want your fighter to fight. But both Derek James and Eddie Reynoso have limitations in what they do. You know, every trainer has limitations to a certain degree. But I want to see a fighter go from point B to point A. You know, Jermell Charlo's always had the potential to be elite, and so has Errol Spence. So to me, just giving a dude that credit, I kind of feel like you got to earn it by dealing with a lot of the lower tier fighters and bringing them up, showing progression in that sense, you know. And when I think of dudes, I think of people like Buddy McGirt, I like Abel Sanchez, I like Mark Ramsey. You know, these are dudes who I've seen work with lower tier dudes, and you actually see the progression. You know, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just showing you those dudes have ticked certain boxes that I haven't seen Reynoso and Errol Spence and Derek James tick.
Well, you want to get in on that, bro?
I don't want to argue with this dude today, but when you say potential also has to be molded. So if the man is proving you that he's molding the right potential, then how does that not make him the best when what he's molding is the best product on the market? You kind of contradict with that statement. I don't want to argue with you. Jeff,
I don't want you to argue me. I just want you to acknowledge one point which I said was taking a fighter from point B to point A. So when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm more meaning in the sense that here's a fighter who didn't have the potential to be anything, and now he's a world champion. That's what I mean.
All right. That's what I mean. See, that's the way you want the process to turn into an argument, because it's semantics. You see what I'm saying? So it's just the people that listen to us is kind of whose side of this particular discussion that they will fall on. Because again, I go back to you contradicting yourself. You're trying to say that a guy took a cashier from 7-Eleven and turned him into a world champion. Come on, bro. If you're a fighter and you become a world champion, at some point you had some sense of potential. So every fighter has potential.
I'm not disputing that. But I'm not disputing that. I'm basically saying how good can a fighter trainer be, or how much how much credit do we give to a trainer for molding a potential elite fighter anyway? That's my point.
Man,
It's
bro. All right.
So do you rank Derrick James? Is he top 5 on your
I
list,
mean,
Shane?
based off of accomplishments, you have to put him top 5. Just like based off accomplishments, you have to put Reynoso in top 5.
No, you can't put Reynoso on top 5 because he's just proven he has no strategy. He's proven he can't come from behind in a fight with these great fighters that he has under his arsenal. Both his dudes just got dog walk. He's completely out of any trainer of the year, trainer of the month, trainer of the week. I don't want to hear his name for the rest of the year. There's nothing to be said about Eddie Reynoso in boxing currently.
Kind of judging a trainer is so. I before we get in the
There's so many
comments is
comments.
flooding.
Everyone in the comments are
flooding.
gonna get to you in a second, so stay in
Yeah,
the
give me like 2 minutes. Give me like 2 minutes to cook, and I'm going right in the comments. Shane, just one thing that you said as far as like the whole trainer thing is with trainers, it's very rare that you see one fighter with one trainer and they get built from scratch all the way up to the skyscraper. Like you rarely see that in the sport of boxing. And I mean, Vlog, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's very few fighters that when you mention their name, you automatically think trainer. You know what I mean? Like it's not a lot of them in the history of boxing where you can actually do that and it rolls right off like that at a snap. Like if you think of Tyson, you automatically think Customato. You know what I'm saying? When you think of Manny Pacquiao, of course you think Freddie Roach. You think of Mayweather Jr.,
Angelo
Ali.
Dundee.
Right. It's very few that's like that. So it's rare that you see that. So what I do when I'm evaluating trainers, I'm like, are they better now with them than
Yeah, of
before
course.
they walk
Of
in the
course.
door?
Of course.
So I kind of keep it, I kind of generalize it like that. And Spence is a better fighter with Derrick James. What Jermell showed Saturday is kind of like a culmination of everything that him and Derrick James has been doing. And initially, it took Jermell a while to get to that point.
When did Errol Spence just out of curiosity, when did Errol Spence join Derrick James?
He has been with James for a while. He's been with James for a while.
I think before even the Kell Brook fight. Right?
Yeah, he's been with James for a minute. And it's even if he didn't go from like A to A plus, we can all agree Spence has always been steady. You know what I mean? The boat always been steady. You haven't seen regression.
Is that progression down to the fact that he's just evolving as a fighter? He's just improving as a fighter? Or is it down to the fact that it's a combination, right?
It's a combo.
In fact, let you go to the comments.
Yeah, it's definitely a combo. It's like football. It's like football. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it might be a coach, you know what I'm saying, that's known as the, one of the best. But of course, he's not going to be as great. He's going to be as great as the players that he got on the field with him or on the court with him. You know what I mean? So boxing is kind of like the same thing. I think Derrick James just fundamentally, like, I think he's top 5. I thought he was top 5 before this performance. I feel like his end game. I haven't heard a fight with Derrick James in it, and he hasn't been kicking that shit between rounds. And that's one of the main things that I look for. But let me get in these comments real quick because they flooding up. Willie G, he said he definitely should be on a pound for pound list. Spence said he would give him his spot. Big Fish, Davidian Simmons, what's going on, baby? He said, hey, my boxing brothers, love y'all. Derrick James, Jermell, Charlo, Errol Spence are the truth. Willie G, James about to have 2 undisputed fighters.
Potentially,
absolutely. Burt Wood in the building. He said, Vlog, what happened to Holyfield's son? Bam, the spread was 1,000-1.
Yeah, crazy,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you something about that, bro. They rushing him. Because he's supposed to be in there against guys that's on 8-fight losing streaks right now. For the first with a guy that's as raw as he is, I say the first 8 fights, bro. I don't need nobody that's close to a winning record because you can see he's still raw with his defense, bro. I mean, goddamn, how you ain't see that counter coming? It's raw. It's raw, so you can't rush a talent. Or I wouldn't say a talent, but at least a guy that's sellable because of his name. He's a sellable entity. You see what I'm saying? So I hope they do the same thing with the boy's son, with Gerald McCullough's son. He's starting late in the game, but I hope they move him correctly while they try to, build off his legacy.
First of all, the and vlog, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you said in terms of developing a fighter. Like, you really got to be honest about the guy that you're handling. You know what I'm saying? You got to be honest about that. Now, with the odds, this is a response to Burt Wood. With the odds, bro, the opponent was plus 1,100. It was 11-1, and I looked at it right before the fight started. I didn't vlog. To be honest with you, I didn't have a problem with the opponent. I mean, the dude was 5-5. I didn't have a problem with the opponent.
The truth is easy.
Dude was 7-5. Dude has 7-5 record. He only had been stopped once in his.
But bro,
500 record. He should have been able to handle that. 500
if he's the real deal,
he should have been able to handle that.
Again, hold up. There's another thing y'all got to take into consideration. A lot of the times, grown men hit different. That's a youngster y'all put in there. That's a grown man he was fighting. So maybe he was starting to really feel some grown man strength and didn't know how to handle it.
Then he's not meant to. That's why in boxing, and it's the painful truth, but it's that squared circle is the truth serum. Whether you're the truth or you ain't the truth, and sometimes you gotta find out the hard way, and he found out the hard way.
And that's the warning label on every single fight. It don't matter, who's fighting who. If one person gets caught in the chin, you're gonna have your body has a decision to make, and then you have a decision to make. You know what I'm saying? I think the guy was 5-5. I think he's 6-5 now with the dub, or he was 6-5 going into the fight. And he's 7-5 now. I said I didn't have a problem with it because I mean, if you go any lower than that vlog for a TV event, and you talking 40% win percentage, 35, like you know what I mean? Like, it's just I didn't have. He got caught with a shot. He got caught with a grown man shot and just got iced. And I mean, it happens. It's boxing. So we're gonna see. I hope he recovers mentally, get himself right. I think right type of opponent. It just went bad,
bro. You got to look at how these other fathers is moving with their sons. I think them people is rushing to get paid off that Holyfield name because he's been consistently on television since he really came into the game. You see what I'm saying? It's very rare that we see these legacy fighters actually get TV time. Now we seeing it out of Vargas Jr., but it seemed like they moving him the way they moving Nico
Walsh,
dude, whatever his name, Nico Walsh. Because I'm not gonna do the Ali thing. Your name Nico Walsh, so they trying to do him the same way. Keep sending this dude a bunch of warehouse workers. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if they thought that would have worked again with Holyfield Jr., but his defense is not there, bro. He's not a very good defensive fighter.
Get to that next comment.
I got you. Vlog, before I get into the next comment, I just got one question. Do you have was it more so of a problem of him being in the limelight too much or the opponent?
I think it was the limelight, them rushing the limelight and not
the limelight.
Really
okay.
All right, that's fair. Like, if you're gonna put him in the limelight, make sure he dancing, make sure he the lead.
Listen. I guess my point is if they put him in with somebody 6-5 and that's rushing them, then we really ain't got nothing to look for.
That's why I said that. To me, that's rushing them when you can see.
No, I think if you think 6-5, if you think 6-5 is rushing them, then he's trash. That's my point. He's trash. There's really nothing to look forward to. You should be able to handle a 6-5 dude.
I never said it was with these legacy dudes. I don't know that any of these legacy guys are the business like that. And there's a bunch of them out right now.
Yeah, I mean, but hopefully he recovers, man. Chris G in the building said, Jose Benavidez.
Keep running free.
Got Rayo coming up and Diego Pacheco. They are offensive focused. Mr. Motivator in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said, word up. Come to pay my respects to OG after his prediction on Bivol. I wrote him off, but OG was backing him all the way.
Who is he talking about?
He's talking about
me.
How the hell is he talking about Blunt when I made the prediction?
Yeah, he may not have been there for that one.
He probably be tapping in with me because you've been vomiting those, my dude. Ain't nobody seen you. You just came back on the scene. It was like you got released from the feds or something. I don't know.
Man, my man had a good lawyer, man. Got off scotch-free, you know what I'm saying? My guy, Robert Costa in the building, man, he said, what's good, y'all? Hey, man, congrats to you, bro. Got Boots in there looking like a well-oiled machine, man. Big shout out to Robert Costa. For the people that don't know, that's Boots and his strength and conditioning coach, so go follow him. And I'm pretty sure he'll be on here.
Another situation where I'm ahead of the curve, and I told y'all, this dude, it's like I got a crystal ball.
You ain't ahead of the curve on Breeds, bro. People been talking about Breeds for like, man,
y'all man, Boots, man, y'all, you stop it, bro. A lot of y'all, well, I ain't gonna say the real insiders, but the dude, the fringe people, they ain't not knowing, they ain't recognizing, they ain't appreciating. So I've been saying this shit.
I don't know who
ahead of the curve, like I knew something.
A vlog. I don't know who hasn't been on the Boots train. Now you the conductor. I give you that. You definitely the driver of the train.
But, bro, I don't know what Blunt is, bro.
I'm just honest, bro.
Blunt's the wheels and the engine, bro. This dude is
honesty drives the conversation.
Them French dudes that got the little mini hats and shit that be driving the trains. That's Blunt on the Boots train. General Long in the building. Big shout out to you, family. He said he has been training Earl his entire career. Yeah,
bro, that's my point.
Yeah,
that's my point.
That's something that he's kind of just molded in, but he's been consistently very good.
My argument and my point still remains. Like, keep going through the comments, cause I don't want to.
I got you. T. Finney said, Boots made easy work of Clayton. Yeah, it was easy work, but we expected easy work. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Leroy, boys, what's your views? Boots calling out Spence.
That's what he's supposed
to. You got if it happens.
That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to call out Spence. And I will never make a prediction for that fight.
You want to jump on that vlog?
Everybody already know how I feel. That's why y'all need to start listening to me. There's nobody in the welterweight division currently or coming up within the next year or two that's going to stop this dude. Only thing that's going to happen is going to turn into duck season, and it is going to be what it's going to be. You're going to end up probably running into a fight with Jermell Charlo and having to choose between Mel Charlo and a big money fight at 154 or possibly having to go back and fight Boots at some point. But it's duck season right now.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
I wouldn't call it duck season, but go ahead. Keep going.
We're going to get into that because I actually want to address that, Jamie Leroy. So we definitely going to get into that. Willie G, pretty sure James has been with Spence his entire pro career. That's what I figured.
That's my point.
I was trying to think if he had anybody else, and I think the last person to have somebody in the amateurs.
This supports my argument.
Willie G, 11 years, James Spence.
Yeah, I mean, this is all supporting my premise of my argument. Like
How is that? How are you saying that that manages a great, like, being a king is hard, bro. So if you got a managing king, don't you think that's harder than managing somebody that bag groceries?
No, I'm not talking about that. Let me tell you.
That's your difference between
the premise
what an elite trainer is to a guy that's okay.
The premise of my argument is very simple. You've been with a dude for 11 years. So it's very difficult to monitor progression and pinpoint whether the progression is down to the fighter or the actual trainer. I'll tell you how. I'll give you an example. If I'm watching a fight and then a fighter is normally a come forward fighter. Let me give you a recent example. When Liam Williams fought at Eubank in his last fight, Liam Williams naturally is a come forward fighter. This dude, Adam Booth had him fighting a completely different style. And the style you could clearly see had Liam Williams much worse off. Now, I'll give you a positive example. You have someone like Tyson Fury, never a good puncher, never a good pressure fighter, never a good come forward fighter, never good offensively. Now he's getting knockouts. So you can actually monitor the progression and say, since he's been with this individual, you can see the progression. I can't say, since Errol Spence has been with Derek James, I've seen progression. I'm not going to take away anything from Derek James because he's done a fantastic job. But my point is very simple. It's very difficult.
You are taking away. Why you the type of dude that shit halfway on the toilet. That's what you're doing right now. You're
what?
halfway on the toilet and shitting. It's like, bro, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I don't really see no progression. Okay,
I didn't say I didn't say I didn't see no progression. This is why you're not listening. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What I said was very simple. I said it's very difficult to pinpoint what is the reason of the progression. When you already got an elite fighter, we all saw Errol Spence. He had all the potential to be an elite fighter. He had all the potential. And you, as a great trainer, has guided him to be an elite fighter. That is an accomplishment. Well done, Derek James. It doesn't take anything away from him. I'm just saying it doesn't pinpoint that his progression is isolated from Derek James. When I'm hearing people say, oh, well, you got to give Derek James credit. Of course you do, because he's a great trainer. But I can't say that Errol Spence's progression is isolated down to Derek James because you can't make that judgment because the only person that's ever coached him is Derek James. That's my point. It's like once Kovalev started training with Buddy McGirt, you could clearly see that this dude was a completely different fighter. His style of fighting changed. Once Golovkin started training with Abel Sanchez, you could clearly see a change in his fighting style. That's what I'm talking about. You can monitor progression and say, since he's been fighting with this trainer, you can see progression. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not taking away from anything. I'm saying you can't pinpoint the progress on Derek James. You can say that he's helped. Of course he has. But he hasn't been with any other trainer to monitor whether it's Errol Spence's talent or Derek James's ability as a trainer.
You mind if I get in here real quick, Vlog?
Go ahead.
Who put you on? You put yourself on mute, Vlog? He put himself on mute. You on mute, bro. You on mute. You on mute. Mute. He wants to stay on mute?
Yeah, it seems that way.
Okay. So since it's been an Earl Spence, Derek James connection, basically since he got out of amateurs, this is what I look at. So I look at it a little different than a fighter. He was with one trainer, then he goes to another trainer, and then you see improvement. So with these two, what I'm looking at is has Spence improved in terms of his performances? That's number one. Number two, has he had any really bad nights inside of the ring? Number three, is he performing similar when he steps up in competition? When I look at a fighter being with a trainer their whole career, I think that's the main criteria that I look at. And Spence consistently has been very good his whole career. When he fights these upper echelon guys, he is fighting the same or elevating a little bit above what he usually does. And Derek James makes sure that when I see Derek James and I see Errol Spence, I know there's going to be a product inside of the ring that's going to be very good at the very least and going to be great.
Jeff, can I ask you a question? What was the first thing I said was, it's very difficult to pinpoint because certain trainers are fit for certain styles. So let me ask you a question. You say that you believe that you're talking about Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. So you believe that Derek James, obviously he's been responsible for their success. So if he's the best trainer, and I'm not saying you're personally saying this, but people are saying this, if he's the best trainer, so that means if I bring him a fighter, that fighter is going to progress. Outside of Jermell Charlo, outside of Errol Spence. Right?
He does, and the guy I
He
actually
has
want
to progress, right?
Yeah, of course you want to see progression with
So
with
do
guys.
you know that can work for Derek James? Because if I'm a,
Well,
if,
we
do
have.
you know that would work for Derek James?
Well, he has Frank Martin. He has Frank Martin, so he does have some other guys where we can
I
monitor
didn't
that.
ask that question. I'm asking, do you know that would work for Derek James? If I was to say, you know what fighter can I say? Give me a fighter, any random fighter. I don't even know.
Conor Benn.
Conor Benn. Let's use Conor Benn. Conor Benn's gonna train with Derek James. Do you know that Conor Benn is going to improve under Derek James?
He should.
Based on what?
He's one of the top 5 trainers in the game.
But you're still not understanding. You're saying that,
bro. You're asking a question, bro. You're asking a question,
bro. Are you doing that shit on purpose?
Bro,
like, really? I'm being serious right now.
No,
because it's like you trying to be a fucking dickhead right now.
I'm telling you,
bro. But
like, what the fuck are you talking about? His product shows that he's a great trainer.
Did I tell you he's not a great trainer? I've said it like 5 times.
Taking credit from him by actually not saying that, by going about way of saying he's not really a great trainer.
I've said he's a great trainer numerous times.
So let me make sure.
What's all the extra shit for it?
But let me make sure.
I'm telling you, I can't say that this dude's the best trainer when I haven't seen this dude work with a dude that's not elite and turn him into an elite fighter. I can't say that he's the best trainer.
So Shane, so who has that resume?
Buddy McGirt, I just told you, and Mark Ramsey, I just told you, those are 2 fighters.
Man, Buddy McGirt is a higher gun. But Buddy McGirt is a higher gun, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
It's nothing wrong with it.
I'm not saying
he's not driving nobody towards the whole.
What are you talking about? Buddy McGirt, if you look at just out and out training, forget the fact he's taken fighters who are average fighters and made them world champions. He's done that numerous times.
Hey, Shane. So here's
answer me this. Hold up, Jeff. Answer me this. Is he able to maintain that? Is he able to maintain that?
He done it
year
with
after
Kovalev.
year, fight after
He done it with Kovalev. Mark Ramsey. All right,
hold up. Let me stop you right there. So Derek James did it with Spence.
He didn't take Spence. He said Spence from the pro career, bro. He hasn't taken a fighter and then molded him into somebody else. So it's a completely different question.
How is it a different question? What was Kovalev doing before Buddy McGirt that he started doing after Buddy McGirt?
Bro?
Yes, motherfucker, I'm serious.
But Kovalev never had no back foot game before he was with Buddy McGirt. He had no back foot game before he was with Buddy McGirt. Watch this dude's footwork.
At what point did he show he had a back foot game? What fight did he show he had a back foot game?
Alida Alvarez, the second fight, Anthony Yard at the end of Anthony Yard fight. What are you talking about, bro? You're telling me Kovalev did not have a back foot game. He had a back foot game in a Canelo fight.
He didn't have no choice. Bro, first of all, let me tell you something. If you're the older fighter, you're not going to press a younger bull. So first of all, based on nature, you're going to be on your back foot. These 2 young bulls, Kovalev fighting the boy from your backyard and fighting Saul, them 2 youngsters. So of course I'm not gonna go in here and try to maul these youngsters over like I had done 5 to 6 years earlier in my career when I was truly known as the crusher.
This is where you're incorrect. This is where you're incorrect. He got knocked out by Alida Alvarez and he got knocked out by Andre Ward. And Buddy McGirt, it was a clear indication of he changed his style. He made Kovalev much more reserved. That is a fact, bro. I don't know what we're going around in circles for. That is
Okay,
a
so
fact.
you're trying to tell me that one scenario of you saying, well, he helped him work the back foot, which he had no choice but to work. Why? Because his front foot game was not the same since he was known as quote unquote the puncher.
You asked me for an example, and I've given you an example.
I just shot your example down.
You can't shut my example down when you're not.
All right, so if I'm a fighter and I'm first of all I'm known as a puncher, and I've been getting out here and getting knocked out. And my punching ability ain't the same, but I still like the game. I got to come do something different. I'm going to give you credit and say Buddy McGirt helped him do that. But that's not the same as saying, oh, that's better than this dude molding a youngster into a fucking undisputed world champion.
Did I say, wait.
One is not better than the other. This dude undisputed.
Wait, did I say, and this is me being dead honest. Did I say?
Yes, it is, man. Your tone of voice is saying that, bro.
No, because you're not understanding what my argument is.
You're very sarcastic, bro. That's why he called you Stone Cold.
Because the truth is, this is what I don't like about every boxing fan. People are wagonists. They just jump on a bandwagon. We're not Blunt, because Blunt's always been flying this flag. So I give Blunt his credit. He's always been flying the Derrick James flag. So credit to him. But people are just jumping on a bandwagon. The truth is, it's very simple. If I was to get a fighter, I am not going to say, you know what, because Derrick James is the best trainer, he's automatically going to fix him. That's not how boxing works. That's not how boxing works. To me as a trainer, the number one skill you have to have is adjustability, because there's certain fighters you're gonna have to mold your fighter in different styles. The truth is, go ahead, Jeff. Could you go ahead?
Please say what I think you're gonna say.
You're on mute, or I can't hear you. I don't know.
My fault. Vlog, I hear what both of y'all are saying, and I'm gonna meet both of y'all in the middle real quick. There's not change. So for you, there's not one trainer that's a one size fit all. There's not one trainer on this planet that can fix any style.
No, there isn't. There is none.
Right. So with that being the case, right? You have to examine specific situations. You have to examine specific situations. So how many situations has Derrick James actually given us? Remember this. The great trainers don't have a lot of fighters. You got to keep that in mind, bro. A lot of the great trainers don't have big stables. So we don't have a lot of examples to go by. So Derrick James, a kid just can't walk up in the gym and get trained by Derrick James. Like he's a luxury vehicle. You understand what I'm saying? So there's not a lot. I understand what I understand what you're trying to say, and I understand where you're going. What I'm saying is with Derrick James, there's not a lot of examples because he just don't have a lot of fighters. He don't have a lot of fighters, so it's hard to evaluate that.
That's what my argument was in the beginning. That's what I said. That's the first thing I just said. It is difficult to pinpoint whether his success is a premise of having a great fighter and him being a great trainer, or him just being a great trainer.
It's both though. It's both, because you can't say it's Earl Spence by himself. You can't say it's Derrick James by himself. That's what I just said. Right. It's a combination. Like take Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan ain't started winning chips until he got with Phil. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't start winning chips till he got with Phil. So I look at the combination. I look at the team.
That's why I can't just give a person the number one title, just like I couldn't do that with Eddie Reynoso and Canelo. Like, because in my mind, I just felt like you had an elite fighter.
I'm gonna give you this question. So he has Frank Martin, right? Big shout out to General Long for mentioning that. So Derrick James, let's just say Errol Spence wins a fight against Bud, right? He has 2 undisputed world champions.
Yep.
Undisputed unified world champions.
Yep.
So are you telling me that you can't?
He's the most accomplished trainer,
right?
100%.
But you can't give him number one until he actually fixes he actually like develops a guy like a Frank Martin. Is that where you going?
No, it's until he shows me. Because to me right now, to me right now, I can't
Holy
perfectly
shit.
pinpoint who's the number one
God.
trainer in the world. But
So
when
give
I
me
one second, one second.
go
When
ahead.
I look at the skill set that Errol Spence has and the
Right.
skill set that uh Charlo has, they're very transferable. Both got very good chins. Both athletically in terms of their dimensions, got good reach, good size, good height, good weight. They're both very physically strong. They
Mhm.
both have footwork. They both got footwork ability, which obviously comes from Derrick James. They both got power. They both, and their fighting style itself, you can clearly tell that Derrick James has implemented his style on those two fighters.
Right.
Now, how transferable those skills are, those are into question, because it seems like, for example, every trainer tries to establish their style on a fighter. So, for example, Custom had a style, Freddie Roach had a style, Floyd Mayweather and the Mayweather gym, they had a style. How transferable that works on other fighters, that's what leads to question. To me, the
Well,
only reason why that style works for Derrick James is because he's got someone with the dimensions and aesthetically gifted like Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence. I don't think that style would work with someone who doesn't have potentially the greatest chin, or someone who's very small, or someone who doesn't have good reach, or someone who does, like, that style couldn't work on Castano. And a
well,
transferable coach would be able to go from, I can coach this person to win a fight, and I can coach kind of like what Manny Stewart done.
so Manny, okay. So here's the
I'm
thing.
not,
So if
and
I'm so if
sorry,
I'm so if I'm kissed,
sorry to cut you off, Jeff. A lot of people are saying I'm not giving this dude any respect. I've said this on numerous times that this guy's a great trainer. I'm just withholding the number one status until I've seen enough. Enough. That's what I'm
so
saying.
I so the so okay, so I'm glad you said that, and I'm gonna make this comment that we're gonna run through these comments. So you said you're having difficulty giving him the number one spot. But I asked you a couple of minutes ago, well, who's the number one spot, and you couldn't give me an answer.
I can't because by my standards, no, I can't. There's many things, like there's things that obviously Derek James does that I like. There's things that Mark Ramsey does that I like. There's things that Abel Sanchez does. There's many coaches that I
So can
put
you've
over
been
the
running
others.
your mouth. Can I say something? You've been really
Go ahead.
running your mouth. Y'all said I can't say Boots is the best fighter on the planet because he hasn't accomplished anything. So now you're saying the guy with the unified welterweight champion and the undisputed junior middleweight champion isn't the best on the planet right now. So I'm confused how y'all judge
But
shit.
but but
So
then
I'm
but
gonna leave it
then
there. Please,
but
please, can
but
we get?
But then,
Let's go.
but then the reason why the premise of that argument is weak is because the
Wow.
person who had the most champions in boxing at the time as a coach, nobody gave him credit, and that was Reynoso. And I'm not saying he's the best neither. I've never said Reynoso was the best, but I don't class a fighter's accomplishments just down to a trainer, because I've seen terrible trainers produce great fighters. Nobody was saying Roger Mayweather is the greatest trainer in the world, despite the fact that he produced the greatest fighter of all time. That's my point. That is literally my point. Nobody was saying Roger Mayweather was the greatest trainer of all time, despite the fact that he produced the greatest fighter of all time.
Let me get in the comments, y'all. Let me run through these joints because they heavy right now. Jamie Leroy Charles is 8-11 to win. I should have took that bet. Actually, for that's actually kind of good odds, man. Like that's kind of good odds. General Long, Derek got Frank Martin.
We'll see
Frank
what he
Martin
does
is a
with
cat.
him.
Yeah, Frank Martin is a cat to is a cat to watch for sure. Burt Wood, remember Smoking Joe's son was beat up against Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
It's listen, man. Just because you got that last name, don't guarantee nothing. You got to go through the process. Mr. 100 Rounds in the building. He said, respect the all, one love. Appreciate you for stopping through, man. General Long, he said, so what's your point? I know that comment was from a couple minutes ago, but he pretty much explained it. Willie G. Spence has gotten progressively better every fight. Hold on. Man, his comments deep, bro. General Long, he developed Earl, so why does that make him less of a
I
trainer?
didn't say it makes him less of a trainer. I never once said that.
He's not gonna. Yo, this dude is like an old encyclopedia. You can't change it. So, you know what I'm saying? He's set. He's set.
Pink Furry Goddess. Pink Furry Goddess in the building. Say hi, guys. I hope you're all having an awesome day. Appreciate you for stopping through, Pink Furry Goddess. Willie G, Boots ain't proven yet. I got to see him versus Thurman, Virgil, or Ben, or even Danny Garcia.
I mean, the fact that
when he mops all of them, what does that do for you, Willie G? When I'm telling you right now, he mops all of them. So once he mops somebody that's beneath him when it comes to skills, none of them are on his skill level. Thurman too old, won't be able to take them punches. Ben don't move the way that Boots moves, and I don't think Ben can counter it the way that Boots can counter. So what you talking about, bro? This dude is mandatory. That's going backwards. Nobody needs to go backwards.
Fair enough. General Long, shit, that's dumb as fuck.
Is it dumb or is it because it doesn't agree with your narrative?
No, because it might sound dumb to him. What do you mean?
Because it doesn't agree with his narrative.
Simple, Shane. It's very simple. I just shot it to you. You just told me yesterday or Saturday on the live, you can't say Boots is the best because he hasn't accomplished anything.
Exactly.
Keep saying, what world champion has he beat? What world title has he won? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Fast forward. We're in a different discussion, and you're saying that that Derrick James isn't the best trainer, even though he currently has the best fighters, the most accomplished fighters in his stable.
His fighters and coaches the same. His fighters and coaches the same. Because my argument to you will then be, let's crown Roger Mayweather as the greatest coach of all time. Let's just crown him as the greatest coach of all time because he produced the greatest fighters.
First thing we could say that what's the name? It could be considered a very top 15 coach, especially with Floyd going down 50-0. And him being a big part of that.
Is stupid. That is so deaf. Do you understand why I'm saying that's so stupid? Because we've seen what else has this dude done? Nothing. Even though I love Roger Mayweather, he didn't. Floyd Mayweather Senior and Roger Mayweather. He's done nothing.
Hold up. One of your stipulations for great trainer is how many fighters do you have to have, and how long do you have to have those fighters? Hold up. I'm asking.
Of course.
Let me finish before you start chiming in. Let me finish the question. How many fighters does this trainer have to have, and how long does he have to maintain those fighters' levels, great levels? How many?
Huh? Yeah. That's exactly the criteria.
How many? You give me numbers. I'm asking numbers. How many and how long?
How many fighters?
How many
fighters?
Are
you asking? Definitely more than two. Definitely more than two. Definitely more than 3
I need
years.
a number from you, Shane. This is your argument. I'm trying to ask you, what is the base? What will solidify your argument against Derrick James being the best trainer currently in boxing? How many fighters? And then second part, how long with those fighters under him and being high level?
Personally, I can't give you a number of pinpoint.
But you just say this dude is not the best trainer. Can we move on, please?
Because it's more than
please,
two. Why would it be two? Why would it be two? Why would you just think?
I never said it has to be two, but you can't even answer the heart of your argument.
Because the truth is, I don't know. I don't know how much fighters.
So how do you make that argument that he's not the best?
Because I know. Because in my standards, by my standards, I don't.
But you can't answer your own standards. I just asked you what your standards are. You can answer them.
Because it's not two. It's definitely not two. It has to be more than two. That's a fact. It has to be more than two. And Derrick James. Let me ask you a question. How long has Jermell Charlo been at the top of the game?
Stop.
1 second. How long has Jermell Charlo been on top of the game? How long has Jermell Charlo been on top of the game?
Jermell, I say at least 6 years. He been reigning champ for a minute.
He been on top of the game for 6 years, bro.
He been the best in the division. He just had to work his way to that point. Am I correct?
I'm talking about boxing. I'm talking about when you rank boxers, elite boxers, pound for pound, top boxers, forget weight classes. How long has Jermell Charlo been an elite world level top fighter in terms of years?
Shit, this whole fucking career then, if you want to say that. He passed 30 fucking victories.
Okay,
he's a unified champion. So he must have been an elite boxer the whole time. He just had to get the accomplishments to prove it.
Next question, Jeff.
That's my point. He couldn't answer my questions, but I answered his.
Because I couldn't answer your question because I don't know
of your own argument. How many fighters and how long? You can't answer that.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that because it's
then
not
you don't
like
have no fucking argument that we've been on here talking about for the past hour.
No. What it means is I don't have a number one trainer. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that's all it means.
Hey Shane, I'll say this before we move forward. It's kind of hard to conclude the argument when you don't have a number one. So
I don't
know. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hold on, Shane. Hold on.
If you can't answer your own question by a premise, by a base argument, 5 fighters, 10 years, 5 fighters, 6 years.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. If you want to say Derrick James is the most accomplished fighter, then fine. If you want to say Derrick James has the best fighters, then fine. For me, a great trainer is about the ability to teach boxing. So until you've shown me that you can teach boxing to multiple fighters and multiple styles and make it suited and fitted to more than 2 fighters for longer than 3 or 4 years, then obviously I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to just automatically give you the title of being the best trainer. Of course not.
Hey Shane, I'm gonna leave you with this 2 things. Number one, we can conclude this argument. I want you to think about it. We can revisit this at another time, off camera or whatever. But think about who you have as number one, because you specifically said Derrick James is not.
Like, I said I wouldn't class Derrick. We spoke about what's the next dude? Canelo's trainer, Reynoso. I personally wouldn't class Eddie Reynoso and Derrick James as number one or the greatest trainers right now in boxing.
Right. But
they haven't shown me that they have the ability to train multiple fighters and multiple styles. So
Shane,
therefore, the element of teaching isn't being implemented.
But Shane, I'm with you on that. All I'm saying is we can run with that. All I'm saying is you said your criteria. For you to say your criteria and you don't have a number one, it's kind of hard to. Who are we comparing Derrick James to if you don't have a number one? That's what I'm saying. We need to revisit it.
I brought up names that we can compare him to, but then you bring up.
No, I want you to. So that's my point. I want you to get.
I personally brought up names, but then you brought up accomplishments.
No, I'm talking about you.
I brought up coaches' names. I personally brought up coaches' names.
I want you to give. You call whenever you figure it out. Call me. When you get a definitive number one trainer in the game based off your standards, then we can kind of close the conversation.
I don't have a definitive number one.
No, that's why I said get back with me. That's why I said get back with me.
Hold on. That's why I said get back with me. What are your standards?
Well, he explained his standards. I understand his standards.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear his standards. I asked for amount of fighters and years.
Okay, so this is my point. Where are we talking about accomplishments? Are we talking about in-game coaching?
No, your standards, bro. Yours.
Okay.
Your standards. What are you?
With my standards,
we don't have to go around the
standards. I remove accomplishments. So by itself, it's not accomplishments by itself. It's your ability to improve fighters. Multiple fighters. That's all it is. How good are you at improving fighters? That is the ability. That is the number one criteria. How good are you at improving fighters?
All right, so that's your criteria.
Yes.
All I'm saying, okay, that's your criteria. Cool. When you come up with the top guy that fits your criteria, let's revisit it, because once you give us that number one person, then we have someone to compare Derrick James to, and then we can really tussle at it.
Removing accomplishments.
Your standards, your criteria, it's all on you. I'm just saying, come up with a number one dude based off of your standards. I can come up
with a dude if we remove accomplishments right now, but we can go through the comments.
Let's go through the comments. I'm just saying, it's easier to close this conversation if you have a number one. That's all I'm saying.
I don't have a number one because
But
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all,
If I tell you, hold on, hey Shane, if I tell you Jermell Charlo is not the best guy at 154, I have to produce someone that's better than him. If I say that Spence is not
someone that's better than him, but I don't know. I just won't say that person's the best. I can produce someone
you
that's
tell
better than
you are you gonna tell me off camera?
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now.
I don't. Let me get through the comments. Let me get through the comments. And if you want to do that, cool. Hold on. Greeks with Fire said Derrick James is the best trainer in boxing.
Based on accomplishment.
Grease with Fire, Spence, the best in boxing. Weird dude from he Kell Brook family. Yeah,
not at all.
Neck, bro.
Frank
Sanchez.
He's with Abel Sanchez. I mean, he's with Reynoso. I mean,
yeah, he ain't got no back foot game.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Frank Sanchez? No, that's
actually. He's talking about. I think he's talking about Kovalev. He's talking about Kovalev. He's talking about Kovalev.
Oh, yeah, Kovalev. But that's what I don't understand when he said Buddy McGirt did so much with Kovalev. Kovalev was at the end of his rope, bro.
And
all this stuff outside the ring and things like that.
Wins. He's still got this guy elite wins. He's still got this dude elite wins.
Okay, so that's part of your standard. If he can get you a big victory in one fight or two fights, that's part of your standards for top level trainer. But moving on. So okay, you're right. Everything you say is right, bro. He keeps contradicting you.
Hey, vlog. I maybe I missed something. Are we going back and forth on Buddy McGirt and his effect on Kovalev?
It's cool. No, I'm just talking about his standard.
This guy did not improve.
I'm saying, was that a part of the convo and I missed it?
Yeah, that was part of a conversation. Yeah, I brought Buddy McGirt, and I believe Buddy McGirt has improved more fighters than Derrick James.
Okay,
that's my premise of my argument.
Okay, he's improved them to undisputed in history. I hear you.
That's accomplishment.
My OG, he's from my own.
You see what I'm saying? He's bringing up accomplishments. Yeah, teaching is teaching, bro. To teach someone.
Yeah, he taught them to this point. This is the point that they at. So he kept teaching to this point.
Of course, but Jeff, if I get called in and you've just come off a loss or a knockout loss, Jeff, you've just come off a knockout loss. I've only had one camp with you, and then you go out and knock out the same dude you fought, then you knock out another dude. Bro, that's improvement. I've improved you as a fighter. I haven't been with you.
Okay, so if we lost a close fight to a guy, and me as a coach, we go back out and improve and knock this dude out in a fight that everybody said he was winning. That's not improvement as a trainer.
Like of course that's improvement, but that's the same individual.
Comments, Jeff.
It's in the same isolated individual. So
let me get in these comments, bro. Yeah, it's funny as hell. Vlog hitting me with the same thing. Go to the comments. Willie G says, so basically Shane is saying he won't give James respect until he takes a bum from the street and turns him into a champion.
I didn't say that. Because I didn't say I give this guy credit. What are you talking about? I said he's a great fighter. What are we talking about?
Davidian said, what do y'all say?
Niggas with a little homie. I'm just telling you. I fucks with him heavy though.
He said, Davidian said, what do y'all say if Derrick James and Errol Spence Jr. beat Terrence Bud Crawford and becomes undisputed? Getting one belt is hard enough. 2 undisputed champions.
That's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment. That is no sarcasm. That's an amazing accomplishment.
That sounds like greatest trainer of all time type shit to me. that's what that sounds like.
To be honest, not even being funny. Like I don't know if anybody has had 2
undisputed trainers at the same time.
Undisputed fighters at the same time.
That alone. That's his story.
Yeah, that alone. To be honest with you, bro, you can actually make the argument that Derrick James would have had a bigger effect on Spence and Jermell Charlo accomplishing that than the Floyd point. Floyd was going to do what he was going to do, whether he had his dad, his uncle, his grandma or whoever. For
I don't
Derrick
know.
James,
I doubt that, bro. I doubt that, bro. Y'all act like just because you got talent that it don't have to be molded. We can't say that.
I didn't, bro. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You
I didn't
say that.
Nigga, I said Floyd. This ain't no typical dude. It's Floyd.
Person, am I correct?
Floyd
is a talented person. Am I correct?
It's Floyd. It's Floyd. Who's on Floyd?
Who was
Floyd.
Who was Ray Jones' trainer?
His dad. Most of his career early.
And why does he get no credit? Because Ray Jones is different, just like Floyd was different. These dudes are different.
I'm gonna be honest. In that particular scenario, him and dude had problems. So that right there, a stop from even the media giving his dad credit. If they're only thing they talking about is the personal issues and the harsh upbringing that most of us black males went through up under a solid dude, you gonna deal with some pressure from your uncle, from your step pops, or your regular dad, or whatever. That's what molds you into a tough guy.
Facts. Can I say something though? This is very similar, Jeff, to when Lomachenko
ain't had nothing for lunch.
Lomachenko had Lomachenko's father, or Lomachenko Senior, had Usyk undisputed and Loma as unified champion at the time. They were both, one was undisputed, one was unified champion. And I said, and I don't think I've ever said this on camera, but even when he was the most accomplished trainer, I said he hasn't worked with enough fighters for me to give him number one. You see my point? He hasn't worked with enough fighters for me to just give him that credit. He's had these dudes from the amateurs. So
Shane,
bringing them from off camera. Okay, that's my point. It's not like I'm being inconsistent. I'm personally bringing out have a vendetta against Derrick James. It's not. I'm very consistent with this.
But Shane, you gotta realize they don't talk to you every day like I talk to you or Vlog talk to you. So they don't know what your consistent is. So they going based off the show.
This is my first time hearing the Usyk trainer situation. I ain't really this is my first time hearing that.
But I'm saying I never had, even though at the time.
I believe you. No, let me keep it clear. I believe he felt that way. This is my first time hearing it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, that's why I fuck with the youngster. I could disagree with him to the 10th power, but if he's standing on his principles and he supported prior statements, I can't argue with him that he don't have a right to feel that way. I just disagree with him, and a lot of people do on this particular statement, but he 10 toes down on that. And if you don't think Usyk trainer is top level because of the same scenario as Derrick James, then
they're top level. I just didn't say they were the best. I just was
the best. Whatever. Now we ain't gonna play semantics. Everybody understand what I'm saying, but I get your defense of your position now.
Yeah, it's just. That's why I said I'm curious to find out who you're. I'm curious. I'm curious to hear who your number one is off camera.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and based on my criteria, I'm actually gonna pick a number one trainer.
Yeah, we can come back to it. We can come back to it.
In terms of the point of
what about how do you rank somebody like Brother Nassim?
I say this all the time.
Hey, hold on.
Wait.
Point, Shane.
I say Brother Nassim, and I say this all the time. I said, in terms of just in-game analysis, I don't think there's anyone better than Brother Nassim. I think in terms of just him watching the fight, because he's probably one of the only trainers I've seen who say, you know what, we're gonna have to abandon this style. I've never heard a trainer in the middle of a fight say that he was wrong and we're gonna have to abandon the style. That is a fighter who has to make in-game adjustment on the spot, and he done that with Shane Mosley. And I thought this dude is a terrific. Mosley still lost the fight, but the ability to see that what his training, his game plan was wrong, and make an adjustment in the fight, I just thought that was fantastic. So I always talk about Brother Nassim. He's one of the greatest in-game trainers of all time, if not the greatest.
Okay. I think Derrick James is solid in game. I give his
in game nice.
No, he's in game nice. I would say his in game is definitely the best in the sport right now. I'll say that for a fact. Derrick James in game is definitely the best in the sport right now. That's a fact. But if I was trying to coach a defensive fighter, I wouldn't bring it to Derrick James, for example. because he hasn't shown me that he's got the defense.
I mean, come on now. The defense of Charlo in this last fight was probably the best we've seen in his whole entire career.
Okay, Jeff, who would you say is the better defensive coach, Coach Rowe or Derek James, in your opinion?
Now, I ain't saying James is the best. I'm just saying I see improvement in whatever they worked on in Kent. We actually saw it in the fight. He was not catching all the shots. He was catching in the fight.
That's a fact.
Agreed.
That's a fact.
Pink Furry Goddess, Floyd Mayweather's father and uncle were great trainers.
I don't think so.
But you know what? But see again. So, and I'm gonna get into this quickly because I want to get to the rest of the comments. So you take Senior. So you got to think about it. Outside of Floyd Jr., how many opportunities has he had?
A few. He's had a few, and he failed with all of them.
Who?
Well, he had Ricky Hatton. He failed with him. He had Andrew Tabiti. He failed with him. He had the other Jay Leon, whatever that dude's name. He failed with him also. Yeah,
Leon Love.
He failed with him also. So this is
why I say you got to look at combination, team. You know what I'm saying? So he had a Jay Leon Love. There's not a trainer on the planet
that's a fact.
That's gonna get Jay Leon Love where he need to be because he just don't have it. Andrew Tabiti, there's no trainer on the planet that's gonna get him where he need to be because he you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree with that. F.A. Jogba, he's one of them dudes. I don't think whatever trainer is out there, they ain't gonna be able to change how he does what he does, bro. So I kind of understand that. I get that.
Cool though. Let me tell you something, Jeff. Amir Khan and Virgil Hunter. Let's keep it real, bro. There's nobody who can change how bad this dude's chin is. But Virgil Hunter done a terrific job. Keep it real. He's done a terrific job with managing how he managed Amir Khan. And that was just down to his ability as a coach.
Yeah, to the knockout. Yeah, you're right.
But my point is, he still was able to coach him. He was still able to get this dude success. That was my point.
So you saying Bomac ain't no good now?
Huh?
How you feel about Bomac?
Personally, I've always said this. With Bomac, I always say, to me, I feel like he does very good at motivating Terence Crawford, but in terms of Terence Crawford's out-and-out skill work, I don't think it's transferable. So I don't think Bomac is that great of a trainer.
So basically, I get it because we seen him with Bosa and he was just working with them. So
I've seen this guy. You know how I know it's Terence Crawford and not Bomac? Because the skills that he puts in Jermell Herring and what's the other dude, Maurice Hooker, they don't have those transferable skills. So that's how I know it's more down to Terence Crawford.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this in defense of Bomac before Jeff go. What Herring will we see coming up this weekend? That gonna tell me, if Bomac's an elevational type of trainer, a bounce back type of trainer.
He not with Bomac. He not with Bomac.
I didn't know
that. What?
Mm-mm. We can talk off camera about that.
Oh, shit. I'm thinking he was running with them.
They had a whole situation.
Fuck.
Keep going through them comments. And someone said something, and I'm going to cook them when they say it as well. Because they just said the dumbest statement ever. Go on.
Pink Furry Goddess, Jerron Ennis is ready for a title shot now. 29-0. The only thing left is the belt.
Facts.
Facts. I will say this, Pink Furry Goddess, before we move on. If Spence for some reason don't take this Bud fight for whatever reason, he got to take this mandatory. He got to take this mandatory. He has to. Jamie Lee Roy.
There's two mandatories technically.
Yeah, but Boots is gonna get top billing though.
Okay, well, people saying Boots ain't no ticket seller, so he better ticket seller than
it ain't about. It ain't. Once you get the mandatory status, it ain't about that. Ain't about that. He either got to take the fight or drop it up.
Mandatory. Because he has the WBA regular title.
But the truth is the WBA's already they got a mandatory last year. IBF hasn't had a mandatory.
They haven't had one yet.
They haven't had one. I think it was literally. What's Lamont Peterson? He was the last IBF manager.
That was his last. Yeah, that was years ago. He hasn't had an IBF. He hasn't had an IBF.
Remember gas was mandatory for Pacquiao.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
that's WBA. Yeah, that's WBA.
Yeah, he's
I
next.
got it.
Yeah. Boots is definitely next up. Spence got decisions to make for sure. Jamie Leroy, Emmanuel Stewart, best trainer ever for me.
Me as well. I agree with that.
Me personally, I think Emmanuel Stewart. Yeah, like he now based off of your criteria, Shane.
Facts. You can't disagree.
Emmanuel Stewart would be the GOAT, but it's because of the everybody during that era ran through the Crunk Gym. Everybody in that era ran through the Crunk Gym, so he had his hands on so many fighters. But my point is, Shane. But there's like Emmanuel Stewart is one of the few dudes in boxing history that had that luxury.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
It's just very hard to find. That's why I said I'm curious to get back to this topic another time. But based off your standards, it's very hard to fit your standards. That's a lot.
I'm gonna be controversial and bring up all timer.
Okay.
Teddy Atlas.
I like Teddy. I like Teddy.
Teddy Atlas is one of the best coaches right now.
Yeah, I like Teddy.
Easy.
He's top 10. Easy. Easy.
Because I've seen this dude take dudes and he's molded them into fantastic fighters.
So Shane, this is where, because we kind of vibing right now. So my main point is this: there's more than one way to evaluate a trainer, and you can't really dismiss one. So you take Teddy Atlas, right? He don't have that one dude where he built them up from scratch and took them to the top. But you've seen him take several dudes. Michael Moore, Tim Bradley, other guys, and he put his stamp
Alexander
on
Povetkin, Alexander Volzik.
He's put his stamp on them dudes, and so even though he didn't have the long term, he a great trainer because he done put his stamp right. But you have other situations like Derek James who haven't had the opportunities like a Teddy Atlas to get his hands on them type of guys. Mm-hmm. So he may only have them one or two examples. He may only give you a Jermell. It may only give you a Spence. Some of these trainers don't even like. Some of these trainers. Hold on, Shane. Some of these trainers don't even like training a lot of fighters. They don't even like training a lot of fighters. But you see how Derek James is good in his bubble, and how Atlas is good in his bubble.
There's also certain trainers who don't like training fighters that they haven't had from scratch because of the saying you can't teach your own dog new tricks. Because I know what's his name said that. Tunde Ajayi said he will never, unless he's coaching you from your pro debut, he doesn't want to coach you. So there's actually, and I think even what's his name said that as well. What's that dude's name? The one that used to train Lamont Peterson. What's his name again?
Barry Hunter. Barry Hunter's a great trainer, but he don't necessarily have the one guy in terms of accomplishments to put him at the top. But I know for a fact he's a great trainer.
Great trainer.
To be honest with you, Mike Stafford's that dude.
And another
that dude.
I mean, a dude who people don't ever speak about and what he was able to accomplish in boxing, James Ali Bashir, another great trainer.
So it's just, you take all of those guys, we probably can come up with a top 10, but out of all 10 of those guys, none of them are great for the same reason.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? It's a customized thing. Pink Furry Goddess, hold on, Willie G. He said Boots ain't getting a title fight anytime soon. Let me get at that real quick. Willie G, here's the thing. Spence has a certain amount of time to work out something with Bud. If for some reason that don't work out, he is staring Boots in the face. He can't. It's either fight Bud, drop the belt, or fight Boots.
Thank you very much, YSN.
It's really one of the three. Really one of the three. Pink Furry Goddess, heated debate, entertaining while I'm at work. Hey, that's
it's always love. It's always love.
Absolutely. Willie G, I don't know how Boots became number one contender, and he's fought a bunch of nobodies. I agree he's a gifted fighter, but I gotta see him against an actual good fighter.
That's a
vlog, you gotta respond to that. That's your guy.
That's a disrespectful thing to say.
Bro, first of all, Danny Garcia already said duck. Off the top. Oh man, because we from the same city. All right, we hear you. Okay, we know what's ringing in them gyms. So that's off the board. Huh?
And Sean Porter as well. Sean Porter ducked as well. Sean Porter ducked as well.
That's man, my dude. Then I'm hearing about everybody. I was on Twitter just for a few minutes. I seen Thurman name so heavy in the tweet about he should fight Boots, and then I'm seeing people on IG talking about Stan Jonas, but they don't understand about going across the street and whoop-de-whoop, and they don't understand his position and who's ranking him the highest. So that's who he running under their banner, and that's the IBF. So he's in a position to see the champion. He the champ came to the fight because the champ know what position he's in. What other reason would you be at that fight for?
Charlo.
I mean, I'm supporting Charlo, but still. You see what I'm saying? It's all set up that reason. They know boxing knows this. Ain't nobody else to fight. What your personal expectations is should be already surpassed, bro. Nobody's made it past 6 rounds. Top dogs only. Hey, what you talking about? Why would he need to fight somebody else? These two ain't top dogs. Thurman is not a top dog. He an okay vet. Ain't a top dog.
Boots needs someone who's gonna bring him out of the first 6. He needs someone. He needs an elite fighter.
It should be
Thurman ain't going 6, bro.
It should be Spence in the position he's in right now. He's either fighting for a vacant belt or he's fighting Spence.
Who said that comment? Who said that comment? That was Willie.
That was Willie G. That was my man. That was my man Willie G right there, man.
That was Willie. I hate Willie.
Roderick,
struggle with you, fam.
Roderick from Twitch. Big shout out to you, bro. This is the second time you've been in here, man. Let me find out. You said y'all making solid points, but I do believe a trainer job is to dial in what a fighter is already good at and hone their skills to be sharper version of themselves. So I believe it's really on how hard the fighter wants it, even if Derrick James showed them the way. It's a combination.
Yeah,
it's a combination. Absolutely. It's a combination. But I like the way you put that comment, though.
This is the comment I was going to cook.
Okay. Jamie Leroy, any trainer who makes their fighter undisputed is a top trainer, in my humble opinion.
So I'm assuming Ben Davidson's a top trainer. Is that what we're saying? Ben Davidson's a top trainer. Is that what we're saying? Ben Davidson's a top trainer.
Who is this fighter?
Josh Taylor. He stole Josh Taylor from Shane McGuigan, and then he became undisputed. He literally inherited the undisputed fight because he had him for one fight, and then all of a sudden he's undisputed.
That's not long enough.
But he said who makes their fighter undisputed. So therefore,
I think he's taking that into consideration with their growth together. I think that's what I don't think he understood the short term with Ben Davis. See, that's why sometimes you got to be. That's why I asked you. Remember, I asked you. I said how many fighters and how long. So remember that when I was asking you
asked me, but Jamie Leroy is just saying if you make money.
He in the chat, he fuck with us. I'm trying to help him out.
Hey Leroy, get a little more specific with that too. General Long, Buddy is also failed fighters. Hold on.
He giving up on dudes.
I got this one. Hold on.
Okay.
I got this one. I'm gonna give y'all a classic example of a trainer doing A+ type teaching, and the fighter just can't comprehend. I ain't gonna say the name. Who is the one fighter that Buddy McGirt trained in history, and he just couldn't do none of it because just defensively he's that bad?
Oh my God! Yeah, you don't even need to say the name.
Vlog, do I even have to say the name?
I brought it up.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
I brought it up, so I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, but I'm just
I ain't speaking ill of the dead. Listen, Buddy McGirt had Arturo Gatti. And in between rounds, he did a magnificent job. You go listen to all of Arturo Gatti's fights after he got Buddy McGirt. It wasn't one round he ain't get that man the truth.
Literally.
It wasn't one round he ain't get that man the truth. He just couldn't grasp it because he don't have the skills to actually channel what the trainer was actually telling him.
I give you another recent example. When Buddy McGirt had Derek Chisora again, he had him for one fight against Joseph Parker. Probably one of his best performances ever. One of his best performances in recent times. He put on a clinic for the first 6 rounds, but he don't have the gas tank to do after 6 rounds. So he ended up blowing out, and all the stuff Buddy McGirt had taught him, you could see that he actually improved. He dropped Joseph Parker in the first round. He was working the dude for the first 6 rounds. He was working just like he was working Usyk for the first 3 rounds, but he just didn't have it to maintain it over the 12. That's my point of Buddy McGirt actually having the ability, but his trainers, his fighters not having it. But he has failed fighters before. I ain't gonna cap. He has failed fighters before. But I just showed you 2 examples of where he actually improved the fighter over a short period of time.
Yeah. Pink Furry Goddess. I personally feel Derrick James is the trainer of the year. No disrespect to Shane or his opinion.
No,
he's definitely gonna get. He's definitely gonna get trainer. That's locked up. Yeah, that's locked up. That's locked up.
A fact. That is a fact. I mean, the only way that could be surpassed is if Tyson Fury loses to Usyk and then Lomachenko fights the winner of Devin Haney. Then you can maybe put Lomachenko's dad in it potentially.
A General Long, we can't really answer that right now because Shane got to give us a number 1. He said who was the best then, but that's the point I was making. I want for him to give us a 1 so we can revisit it.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Defense. He said defense is also always being ready to fire back. I think you are missing what good defense is.
No, good defense is your ability to not get hit. That's what good defense is.
Thank you. Yeah. Your ability to read range. The best thing about defense and the most a natural ability is to anticipate. If you don't have that naturally, it's hard to build on whatever you can improve as a trainer with somebody from a defensive realm. You got to anticipate shots.
I will say to me, and I've said this numerous times, to me, the best defensive trainer right now in the game, based on what I've seen and studying actual training simulations, and Jeff will probably agree, is probably Coach Real, bro. That dude is a genius when it comes to just defense. And where he gets
I don't see too many. I'm on IG regularly. I see a bunch of pad work, bunch of mid work. I'm like, come on, where the defense at? The natural rolling. That's not the only thing in defense. That's all they do.
Jeff, is
you only rolling one time?
Blunt, if you go on because it was Jeff who made me go on this dude's page, because I knew about him because obviously he trained Tevin Farmer, and obviously Tevin Farmer's got great defense, and YSM introduced me to him when I was in Philadelphia. When you go on this dude's page, you actually see the training simulations he does just to work on defense. Bro, this dude's mind when it comes to defense, and that's why you look at someone like Tevin Farmer and you look at how great he is, as Blunt said, as anticipating, and he's out of Philly as well. So that is just how you catch a shot, how you slip a shot, and how your eyes is always on the target. To me, if I've won a defensive fight, I'm bringing him to Coach Real, and I'm just saying that. I'm being honest.
I don't know about that Philly shit, baby. We slick with it. The natural thing, baby. I'm catching flies, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you take a guy like Coach Real. Coach Real has had his hands on Tevin Farmer. He had his hands on Cool Boy Steph. He, of course, watched Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? So he's had his hands on a lot of different guys in terms of like defensively, but he's a really good. He's a good trainer. Just period. Like, he's a good trainer. It's just, to be honest, it's just kind of hard to evaluate. A lot of these trainers, like, you know what I'm saying, but a lot of them are good teachers, man. General Long, he said Devin Haney. I'm not sure what he was getting at with that.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Devin Haney and coaches, shout out to Padman McGriff. That's family.
Yeah, big shout out to Padman McGriff.
He out in these streets doing what it do.
Hold on. Hey, Padman, you out there with Too Short and them at the gym, man. I need you working, baby. You got asses and cheeks shaking in the ring, man. What's going on?
I told him to save me the one in the pink for me. Save the one in the pink for me.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, I need a pair of shades, man. Where the dark meat at, baby? I'm about to go Just saying.
Oh, man.
But shout out to Padman McGriff. He's coaching Devin Haney for his next fight. And he's family of the channel. So.
Yeah, big shout out to him, man.
And Short from town. Fuck with him.
Yeah, for sure. Wilson Casado, big shout out to you, family. If you new to the channel, please subscribe to G5 Jeff TV. Please subscribe to Boxing First Vlog, man. For sure, we greatly appreciate it. He said, yo, I got respect for this Charlo, bro, but not the other scary cat who don't want to face top opponents like Benavidez or Andre or Triple G. He's soft. This Charlo was hardcore. Big ups.
That sounds like Eddie Hearn wrote that, to be honest.
Oh man, I don't know if I could do that, bro. I think sometimes fighters can overreach with billing and things like that. So negotiations can mess up fights more than lack of heart. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Charlo would say some fucking shit when it came down to Benavidez, though.
Huh?
I said Big Charlo would say some sucker shit when it came down to Benavidez, though. I can't name fraud.
Yeah.
I can't name fraud.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say. I'm talking about when I'm bringing up the Andre situation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Maybe he oversold himself or expected too much. Like those sort of negotiation clashes. That particular thing, I don't know. I don't rate Andre that much better than Charlo at the time, or even right now. I downgrade Andre, and I still got Big Charlo on the same keel. You know what I'm saying? I think he can improve.
I like Andre, man. I like Andre. I'm an Andre fan. I actually like Andrade. I like Andrade.
I think he's a lot slower than at that time of the original fight perspective from what, 4 years now, almost? At least 3.
Yeah, at least 3.
Yeah.
So but you also got to remember, Blunt, which you have to acknowledge, a lot of people have ducked out and pulled out of fights with him and have avoided Andrade. So
I'm just saying in this particular, just based on this.
No, I'm not Charlo. Yeah. Not Charlo. I mean like Golovkin, Canelo, Munguia, Billy Joe Saunders. Those dudes have all, you know.
Munguia don't get talked about enough, man.
Munguia don't get
That
dude right there. I swear, he's the most protected fight I've seen. That dude, him and Ryan Garcia, bro. I swear to God, they're the most protected fighters.
Been in a couple little respectable scraps. I get it,
bro.
I get it. I ain't gonna lie, I fucks with Munguia. I like his style, even though he beat my guy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, y'all want to hear first time interview? Man, I was blue in the game then, man. I was like a fish. Jeff helped me up with that interview with Toriano, man. That was my first little interview, though, man. I still remember that shit.
Big shout out to Toriano.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know but I think he's been tested, though. He do need a big fight, though. He definitely need a big fight.
Jermell said Bomax trash. Wilson says the Charlo who beat Castano is real deal. The other Charlo is soft. Life. Go ahead, bro.
I can't argue if that's how you personally feel. But I was just trying to defend that particular scenario as if he's
not even Mexican.
Maul has said some things. To make a person say that.
But he's not. Castano's not even Mexican. So I don't even know why he said that.
Yeah, I don't know why he said that neither. Story Life said, "What's up, y'all? What's going on with your family?" He said it's been a bad 3 weeks for Mexican boxing fans.
Castano's not even Mexican.
He's not. Even take Castano out, it's still been a bad couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Wilson said Benavidez wants Charlo, but Charlo's scared.
I ain't gonna lie. Can we go back to that Mexican John? Because the boy, that first fight on Showtime, man, that Puerto Rican boy won that fight, bro. It was some bantamweights. I don't think it was a title on the line, but it was like 2 prospects, two French contenders at 122. I gotta go back and do my notes, man. So many names in boxing, but I know the fight. I remember the fight. I was saying watching the shit, but I thought the Puerto Cat took it. So if you add that in the bad run for Mexican fighters, y'all kind of got one, but I think he lost in his face. Show it.
Yeah, Wilson, he said, I'm a Mexican fan, but I have no doubt Benavidez murders everyone in his weight class, including Canelo. I mean, hey, he could.
Weight class,
to be honest with you, the best fight to be made is 68 is Benavidez and David Morrell. That's the best fight that can be made in 168.
Nah, Canelo. Benavidez, Canelo.
What you say?
Benavidez, David Morrell.
I mean,
Canelo.
Bro, that's your guy, vlog. Don't do that to me. That's your guy, bro.
No, I'm being honest. I think Saul's a better fight.
I'm
not saying
but that fight's not real.
Boxing the boxer. Yeah.
In
That
fact, that's
boxing
true,
appeals to
though.
me
That
That's
bad.
true.
fight's not
He said
realistic.
the most realistic fight. He did
Yeah,
say the
that
most
fight's not
realistic.
realistic.
That
Yeah, that
fight
fight's
is
not
realistic.
realistic to me. Of course, Benavidez, Canelo. Of course. Like you know what I mean. I'm
So
not
you
disputing
said, so y'all basically saying right here, Canelo dropping them belts if he forced to fight Benavidez or whatever belt.
He will fight Charlo or Errol Spence before he
Yeah, but
fights.
he's not fighting Benavidez. Yeah, hell no.
He ain't
Hell
Is
fighting
no.
this?
Benavidez.
I think is this fighter? I need to holler at Emily. I think that's one of what's her name, Benavidez promoters. We follow each other on IG. Ain't been able to reach out to her, man, being so busy. But I wanted to ask her though, is this like a contender fight, number one contender sort of fight?
I don't even. It must be some
Benavidez?
form of eliminator.
It is an eliminator.
Title
It is an eliminator. Yeah, I don't.
Which
Yeah,
one?
honestly,
WBC? Which who? WBC?
WBC.
So even though the WBC stripped him, they still kept him in that upper echelon.
Yeah. Because remember,
if I was him, this is just my personal thinking. As soon as I came back off suspension, I'm finding out who I'm ranked higher under outside of my original.
remember, WBO is Andrade Zach Parker. IBF is Ryder, John Ryder. I swear he just beat Danny
But that's
Jacobs.
what I'm saying. If I was him, I would have found out and chased that route towards the belt or towards the possibility of seeing Canelo. Just y'all gonna do me dirty, you know what I'm saying? Like fuck that. You gotta win boxer and use some of your power. That's just me personally. I'd have been like, yo, if the IBF got me at 4, let me fight 2 guys and get the number 1 with the IBF.
Yeah. What happened to franchise champions? Where did WBC give the up or something?
they'll bring it back. Yeah. Benavidez is a mandatory. They'll bring it right back.
Stop. They're gonna give me the regional.
Yeah. YSM Sports Media, big shout out, bro. There are 3 types of trainers: one that can build a dog, one can rebuild a dog, and trainers that can do both. I consider guys that can do both great trainers. The others I consider good.
That's how I see. I see exactly the same.
I like the comment, but again, how many of them falls into that category?
I mean, outside of that's why I'm struggling to give a number 1.
Because you gotta. So hold on, let me throw this out there.
To give a number 1.
I'm gonna read that again. He said it's 3 types of trainers: one that can build a dog, one can rebuild a dog, and trainers that can do both. So if you build a dog, right?
Hold up. Let me stop. That automatically, based on that right there, automatically makes Derek James the best trainer in the game currently. He's done that just with Jermell Charlo and got him to undisputed.
I don't think that's the same though, because you
just said, oh, he got losses and whoop-de-whoop.
But you can make the argument. But you could make the argument, and I agree. I see where you're going with this, because I was thinking in my head as well. He did rebuild Jermell Charlo, and he rebuilt Errol Spence to a certain degree. But you also have to think about, I think when he meant rebuild, I think a fresh fighter. I think that's what he meant. Rebuild a fresh fighter.
How can you rebuild somebody that's fresh? Rebuild is...
rebuild a fresh fighter. I mean, a new fighter to you. As a fighter who's broken and you've now gone to him and fixed him. Because you can argue that it was Derek James.
Isn't that doing the same job with somebody that's under you? That man took in a step back?
Not if Derek James the reason why. I'm not saying he is. But if Derek James the reason for why Jermell Charlo lost, I'm not saying he is, by the way. But I'm saying if he is the reason why, then therefore he's just correcting his own mistake. I'm not saying
they're doing it together. So isn't that the same? Rebuild. To correct the mistake.
I feel like he meant rebuild a fighter that's new to you. But to me, that's why it's so hard to
rebuild. That's almost building a dog. That's not a rebuild.
No, because the fight is broken and you rebuilt him. You're a new fighter. It's a new fighter.
Talking about it again, going back to a fighter that may have lost one or two straight fights.
All right, cool. Imagine Derek James, and he went and coached Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua became undisputed. That would be a rebuild to me. This dude has reconstructed this dude and has made him an undisputed champion.
So this is why we just want to get clear. For you, a rebuild would have to be a different fighter that lost, not a current fighter that you went back and corrected. So it has to be a different fighter.
To me, but
the word applies to both situations.
No, it does. It does. You're 100% right. But that's why I say Jeff is correct when he says who actually falls in that category. And that's why I'm struggling to name a number one. Because obviously Emmanuel Stewart did.
I think throughout the rest of this show, I think we've been finding out, just based on this statement from YSM, that Derek James is the best trainer in the game.
Hey Shane, I think you're slowly moonwalking over to the Derek James.
No, but you can also say Reynoso rebuilt Canelo after he lost to Floyd. You can make the argument.
Reynoso developed a pack that they developed a world tour out in Europe. You know what I mean? They can put their concert hits out on. That's what happened. Timestamp that and put me up on Twitter, Playboy, because that's facts.
I ain't gonna disagree with that. I ain't gonna disagree with that.
1 hour 35 minutes and about 30 seconds.
But did Lomachenko's father rebuild Loma after his first loss in his first fight?
First of all, yeah, because you could be rushing based on because there's a quick switch from amateur to pro.
Yeah.
So that it could have been a little bit of rush. But obviously he's good. He's proven that. And then you got to give him credit for the rebuild, bouncing back after the shoulder situation.
I don't agree with the rush thing with Loma.
I will say this. I will say this. On reflection, and when you actually consider it, I have to consider Derek James' rebuild with Jermell Charlo. So when you actually think about that, and I'm conceding to what Blunt is saying, I have to consider that this dude has rebuilt Jermell Charlo, because one of my biggest concerns about Jermell Charlo was his discipline. And in the first fight, Derek James was telling him the instruction. He just wasn't doing it. All of a sudden, he done it in this fight. That has to come from above. That has to come from your corner. Because someone in your team, obviously, I'm assuming Derek James, because he's the one who's coaching you, would have had to make you look back and reflect. You see my point? So on that, I will concede 100%. That will be considered as a rebuild to a certain degree. So yeah, 100%.
General Long says, I'm assuming he means Stan Jonas is stepped aside 2 times, so he will be in line first. I'm assuming he's talking about Stan Jonas.
Can't have stepped aside.
Yeah, he didn't step aside because he just got the man. He just got the mandatory with the Batayev win.
Oh, you know what he's talking about?
Is he talking about Spence? I think he was supposed to fight Spence.
No. I know what he's talking about. He's right, because you remember Stan Jonas was supposed to fight.
Oh, he's talking about the Ugas. Yeah, he's talking about
Ugas got elevated to super champion. Remember? Yeah, right. He's right.
Yeah,
he's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
But technically, at the time, Jamal James was in the picture during the Beterbiev fight. I mean, not Beterbiev, Budabayev. Yeah,
that's basically how it was. Stan Jonas fought, I think, who did he fight? It was Delorme. And Batayev fought Jamal James. The winner fought each other. That winner was then supposed, before that, he was supposed to fight Ugas.
Yeah, he was. I do. You're right. You're right. Technically, he was.
And then Ugas was elevated.
And they gave him a cupcake in Delorme.
Yeah, Ugas was elevated to champion, and then they dropped him down and made Pacquiao champion, and then they fought each other. So that was the first step aside, and then the second step aside would have been Errol Spence versus Ugas.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put this out there. It's some.
I think that's still one step aside because they knew the route that they wanted to go.
I get what you mean.
Pacquiao or Ugas.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yo, this for General Long and a couple other new people in here, man. Drop either y'all Facebook, y'all Instagram, your social media, or something. Drop it in here, man. Because usually when we get new people on and they bring in smoke, we invite them in. We invite them in the living room. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah,
some
give
people
them
don't want to get
drop
on
them the
camera.
link.
Yeah, some people don't want to get on camera. Some people do. So for General Long and others, General Long been bringing that heat. You know what
You
I'm
want
saying?
this,
In the
and he's
stream.
questioning me, so I know he gets.
Yeah. So if you want to take us up on the offer, man, definitely drop your social media, man. We can definitely line something up. He said, bro, he will not see Spence until 154.
Slightly no.
Jamie Leroy, I don't. Tyson Fury coming back to boxing. He's in France smoking cigars and drinking beers unless it's for big money.
You see,
Um,
I don't see Tyson Fury coming back.
coming back to boxing. Okay. Apparently, Conor
Yeah,
Ben and Chris
that's not
Eubank
happening.
are
That's not
discussing a
happening.
potential fight in the future.
I heard it's Ramirez.
Yeah, the new rumor is Jose Ramirez now, but who knows? Pink Furry Goddess, Jamal Charlo needs a top level fight after Selecki. I feel like the Jaime Munguia fight is the perfect fight for him. I feel like that's the perfect fight for him.
Or Golovkin unification.
But he
Because
ain't gonna take that. Golovkin ain't gonna take that.
why not? Golovkin ain't
Because
got
he'll
no
take, bro.
Canelo.
Because he'll wait and take Canelo off of a loss before he take Jamal for a unification. That's a fact. Go ahead, Flo.
Obviously, it's the bigger fight. So if that's about money or that's about just personal revenge, he gonna go either way. So you gotta agree with that with Jeff. But why would you fight Chris Eubank?
I think that's an old
Eubank,
rumor,
at
bro.
minimum, man, he the bigger fighter, natural weight wise. And then what you going up to 154?
I don't know.
That doesn't
What's
make
it
any
called?
sense to me.
When they were negotiating Kell Brook versus Eubank, Eubank said the lowest he can go down is 156. Conor Ben isn't even a big 147. So
47. That's what I said. Don't make
yeah,
no sense.
it doesn't make any sense.
That's crazy.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. YS Shelby said at Wilson, that's an imperfect understanding of Charlo's situation. Andre turned down a multi-fight deal. Munguia turned down Charlo. Canelo turned down a 2-fight deal that included Charlo.
I don't remember Andrade turning down a multi-fight deal, but I do remember.
He did. He did.
Are you talking
He
about
did.
154?
The Showtime deal.
Yeah, that was at 154. Yeah, that's true. But that wasn't that Charlo. That was Mel. That wasn't Mo.
No, that was
That was Mel.
was
That was at
Mo.
154.
That was Maul.
That was
Maul.
Maul.
At
When Maul was
154.
154 champ.
No. That deal that was on the table was more recent than the 154.
No, the multi-fight deal. That's what I'm talking about. He didn't. That's what a lot of people bring that up as well, and that's why I say a lot of people are quite misguided in that statement because it was a bidding war. Apparently, according to what Eddie Hearn said, and according to what Eddie Hearn showed, he had showed that he offered Jermell Charlo his all-time highest payday to fight Andrade. Then, in response, PBC had offered Andrade a fight, a 2-fight deal or whatever. But it was in retaliation to Eddie Hearn offering what's it called? And Andrade has never been on a fight-by-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. He's always had fights on his contract. So offering him a multi-fight deal or a 2-fight deal when he's already on the contract is quite stupid. But yeah. Again, it's one rule for one, not the other rule for another. And I'm always criticizing Eddie Hearn, but that is what, according to what Eddie Hearn showed.
Right. But yeah, the thing with Andre is just, I wish he would have took the PBC deal because it's just more action.
No, but Jeffrey,
but
that's not
my
true.
thing.
That's not
remember,
true. That's
I don't
not
know who
true.
said that comment earlier. Remember when they was saying something about how Charlo had ducked or did some ducking around with the Andre situation? This goes to prove it's not really about the fighters all the time. It's these negotiators.
No, I agree with that.
The reason why
or something like that.
sorry to cut you off, but the reason why I disagree with you and I don't believe that there's more action is because when he signed with Eddie Hearn, Canelo, Golovkin, Munguia, Billy Joe Saunders were all signed to the zone. Morata, they were all signed to the zone.
Hey, vlog, watch this. Watch this mic drop. Action that he has access to.
But he's supposed to have access to. He signed into their promotion company.
He didn't have it.
But at least hold on.
But with the PBC deal, he actually had fighters locked into the contract. That was my point of me saying that.
But fighters locked in. Remember, he signed with Eddie Hearn after signing the Billy Joe Saunders deal, so he did have a fighter locked in the contract.
Bro, bro. Eddie Hearn is the worst promoter for black fighters currently in boxing out of the upper echelon promoters, and even he's worse than any of these under-tier guys. Undisputed, Sugarbird, these guys do better with their African American international black fighters, so to speak. I mean, I don't understand what Eddie Hearn is doing.
But bro, I personally believe, bro, it's not even the fact that it's a black fight. The reason why I say that,
it seems to be
the reason why I'm saying I think it's a personal vendetta when it comes to Andrade, because you got Danny Jacobs to fight, and that's another dude who was on the zone at the time. He got Danny Jacobs to fight.
He did Danny Jacobs in his last fight.
But my point is, he's been able to get the people in his. No, that's true. But he's been able to
using Danny Jacobs because he was a springboard for Canelo. He was.
If we're keeping it real, like he has, I think it's personal when it comes to Andrade because of.
I agree with that. I still think my statement stands. Look what happened with who just left him with the PBC. What's the boy from 47?
Some Rashidi Ellis.
Thank you. Cold as ice over there. With all that competition, international 147 competition, come on, bro. You got this dude fighting once a year. How he gonna get towards the world title?
Again, that's a fact. And that's my point.
These black dudes. That's all I'm saying.
But
we already hear about Bob Arum and them, but these dudes got world titles at least. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't.
But at the same time, though, as well as I agree with you, he did build his foundation and his company on black fighters. He built his company on black fighters. Eddie Hearn built his company on black fighters. Now he's got Canelo.
And then he quickly went left.
That's a fact. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. That I agree with. As soon as he saw opportunity with the Canelo thing, he abandoned everybody else. And that's what I don't like about Eddie Hearn. He abandoned everybody else as soon as he saw Canelo. And that's what I don't like. But I feel like a lot of people give Andrade stick. And Jeff just was about to do the same thing. But in all fairness, he signed to the dude who supposedly, if he had done his job properly, he would have had the most opportunities, bro. Let's keep it real.
Now, let me also say this to just poo-poo on Eddie Hearn. If you had that much invested in AJ, you would have had input on his boxing improvement and him staying this marquee package. You want him tip-top. Everybody talking about this an amateur trainer that he rocking with, blah, blah, blah. You gotta, if you're that keen into these boxing streets as a promoter the way you should be, you gotta be able to put your foot down and be like, say, man, it's too much talk. We got to really tighten this ship. There's X amount of dollars on the table. Who's not going to say, start bringing in such and such, start bringing in such and such?
But Eddie, the truth is, Eddie Hearn doesn't know about boxing. You can tell that by his matchmaking and the fact that
that's my point.
This dude said last week, yeah. Blunt, this dude said last week, and I swear to God, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna post it. This dude said, should we start counting arm punches? Punches that land on the arm, should judges start counting those?
Shut up.
What are we talking about? So there's no
your arm is your defense and your offense. What are you talking about, bro?
He said, we start counting arm punches. So when you're doing a high guard, if someone hits your arm, we should start counting those as scoring
No,
punches.
you know what he's gonna say? I need to get that clip because
I
got a clip that I put on TikTok that would be perfect. Because he would think that would have been a counted punch. Oh my God. Because this dude, everybody that fuck with me, man, go to my TikTok, bro. I put this old joint up. I don't know if anybody remember. It was the brother had the super duper long ass dress. He was nice and buffed. I don't remember what fight it was. He's not no marquee fighter. But the announcers are so terrible that this bro threw this weak ass right hook. It missed by like a mile and a half. And dude was like, oh, that one would have did damage. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? So that's Eddie Hearn type mindset when it comes to boxing. He's just a dude with a bag that's playing in the streets, bro, so to speak.
Yeah, he's very good verbally, and he's got very good promotional skills in terms of actually speaking to the public, media, and he's got money. But that's where it starts and stops.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
YSM Jermell is undisputed because the fights are on his side of the street. Benavidez seems like he only
that's kind of like smoke.
Benavidez seems like he only calls out smaller fighters, but hasn't responded to David Morrell saying he will give him the beating of his life.
Well, I've always said Benavidez is a weight bully. This dude ain't no 168. This dude is you know what he's like, bro? You know when you got like your wife, you know, she's got them old pair of jeans that used to fit her when she was in high school, and she's still trying to squeeze into those jeans. That's what Benavidez is right now, bro. He's still trying to squeeze into his weight class. He can't make it, bro.
Yo,
some of these, bro. Some of these tenders still built like they in high school.
What? An hour 51 minutes. That's a timestamp. Blunt, yours is what, an hour 35.
Yeah. Get the box. That's what Benavidez is saying. Get the box.
Yo, that's funny. Yo, that is funny.
Bro,
I got two mic drops today, man. That's a productive show. Hold on real quick. He said now Batayev was supposed to fight Ugas, not Stanionis.
What? I'm pretty sure it was Stanionis. I could be wrong. I'm labeled. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember.
Stanionis. Stanionis was supposed to fight. So what happened, bro, is Stanionis was supposed to basically they was gonna start like a 4-man tournament.
Yeah.
And Stanionis was gonna fight Ugas, and then Batayev was on the other side of the equation.
Yeah.
So they basically slipped Stanionis a couple dollars, let Ugas get the Spence fight or the Pacquiao fight at that particular time before he got hurt.
Fight.
Right.
Because
and then
Pacquiao was supposed to be Pacquiao was elevated to full champion after they were trying to make that unification.
Yeah. I think it was Stanionis, bro. Joseph Wilt, you think Fury is retired for good?
Fact.
He will be back.
I do.
He loves to say he is retired, then come back.
No. But the reason why I think he's retired is because I saw something, and YSM's gonna love this. I saw something where it says, basically, this whole MTK Global thing. I don't think he's coming back, though. I don't think he's coming back.
That's a good reason right there. You don't want to put yourself back in that limelight situation. Motherfuckers start asking questions. You fall in that Rico. It's easy to fall in that Rico. As Young Thug and them fall up in that Rico real quick.
Hey, listen, them Rico charges come. You toast. You toast, man.
If I'm correct, MTK Global had something to do with the Dylan White fight, at least with the purse bid.
But the thing about it, I think that's a great point, because when you look at that, now you're talking money laundering, things like that. And I'm not wishing nothing on nobody. I'm just putting one and two together. So if your main man got hit with the RICO charge and you basically his top client, he got hit with the RICO because of money, right? You his top guy. He don't want them fishing in his bank account.
All they gotta do is follow the money. You know, follow the money. Why is Top Rank or ESPN paying Kinahan this money? Well, it's gonna go back to Tyson Fury.
Why y'all think Top Rank dropped that shit? They were like, hold up, our bank account gonna start getting questioned. Push back. Oh man, we ain't taking no calls from over that way.
And you know they got an ESPN deal. ESPN is Disney. Disney's not having no part of none of that. You know what I'm saying? William,
Disney's fighting in Florida right now. They got their own issues they got to deal with.
Right. Wilson said he got biz to take care of. Who is Morrell? He is irrelevant when Benavidez has business with Plant and Charlo. Canelo is a payday. He wouldn't mind that. They is a bonus. Morrell who?
Morrell is someone.
I don't want to see Plant fight again in my life. So with Plant retired right now, I would sleep so easy. He is the worst fighter that's ever walked into a ring. The worst champ. You know the dude that fought F.A. Jagba? He walked into the ring and the
just
bell
walked right out. Yeah.
That's Caleb Plant, bro. That's Caleb Plant, bro. He's a bum.
David Morrell is an accomplished Cuban fighter. Cubans, they got that big support wave, and then you got to look at him on that Lomachenko realm. You're an accomplished guy, WBA, Continental bells. So I think he actually had like a WBA in title or something like that. So he actually came in with some steam behind his name. It's just maybe they're waiting to position him towards these top guys. And, they giving them cupcakes in between and he's dispatching them. I don't think about Morrell. I don't trust that age. I think he's a lot older. Because y'all got to remember.
Every Cuban fighter is like that. Rigondeaux was 20.
They talking about dude like 22. I'm like, this dude built like he got damn 32. I'm just saying.
They were saying Rigondeaux was 28 for like 5 years in a row. And then they said Luis Ortiz was 40. And he had sparred with Lennox Lewis, so he was fighting Lennox. So it didn't make no sense. But I thought Lennox. I heard
he's that guy, bro. Because look, once you get out of that, your top 3 guys, your top 4 guys, this is where you find your Emmanuel Tagus and your other guys that deserve opportunity.
Even Luis Ortiz was sparring Joe Louis, so it don't make a difference. This dude was old.
I don't think you can write off David Morrell as far as where his next opportunities were. How many cupcakes you need to see him fight when you've seen other guys fast track? Would you say that same thing about Loma? Was you saying that? I'm just asking. I don't know how you was thinking back then.
Actually, David Morrell got a secondary title fight in like his second fight.
No, but
I like some WBA interim or something.
Because he wrote an article about it and it didn't get approved by set company.
Remember that, Bob? I did.
No, I said remember when I wrote the article and we talked about it and we submitted it. We submitted it to set company and they didn't take it.
What set company?
That's right. We discussed
the same one you. Yeah. We ain't
what happened with Lemieux? Is it Lemieux this week, right?
Yeah,
man. I couldn't get them tickets. Man, they ain't approved me to go for the media, John. I'm debating on whether I even want to throw them my money since they hating like that. But that shit in the backyard, though, bro. I might, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro.
You might have to pull up to
working
that, bro.
so much.
Hey, Wilson, you said who's Morrell? To be honest with you, bro, he beats Plant right now.
Plant's a bum.
He beats Caleb Plant right now.
Plant is a bum.
He beats Uskanzaki. He beats any of the 175 guys that might want to take a step back. He beats a lot of dudes, bro.
He said Uskanzaki. It's Uskanzaki, bro.
He's he got to throw his twist on there. Like,
what's his name again? Swiss Knife.
Yo. Blunt pronounced name. Blunt pronounced names like he got an accent and shit. Like, yo, he the only dude I know that mispronounce a name and that shit is cool, yo.
Yeah, that's shit cool as shit. I'm trying to fuck your name up on purpose. I don't know how to say it right, so at least I'm gonna try to make it seem like nigga ain't being disrespectful. Cause I could just be like, yo, that dude, that's a bum. You know what I mean? But I don't want to.
The truth is, Blunt, if you were cool in a fight, you would be the funniest dude ever. I swear to God.
Yo,
This dude was on his
Man,
Blunt Manic on the
bro,
weekend as well, bro. He was on
I
that Blunt Manic.
accidentally,
I'm just saying, bro. You
hey,
know me, man. I'm
hey,
slicker than a bowling ball covered in Vaseline. You feel me?
hey, bro, I accidentally said Buddha Bayev to somebody. They was like, "Who the fuck is you talking about?" I said, "That's that blunt language." I said, "I'll explain that another time."
What's Blunt's favorite line? We say slicker than church shoes on a Sunday morning.
Yeah,
That's what Blunt.
yeah, yeah.
Slicker than church
Nah,
shoes on a wax flow, baby.
no, my favorite. I think my favorite like short clip that we done did is a joint where you trying to pronounce that name from Joseph Gwilt and shit.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Blunt
crazy.
was like, "B B B B B B."
Bro, he sounded
Oh man,
like he was trying
Akabuki.
to
yo,
read
I gotta
code.
find that. I gotta find that and run that back, man. It's somewhere on the page. But YS7 said Shane Andre contract was up with the Zone. Showtime offered a multi-fight deal that included Charlo. He turned it down because he felt they didn't have enough fighters after Charlo.
I didn't even know that. You have to
No,
send me an
that's what he was talking about.
article.
Yeah,
Send
I
me
know
send
about
me a
that.
report for that. I didn't even hear about that. So send me
He
a
said
report for that. I didn't even
Andrade
know.
has signed 2 deals with Eddie.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that.
Jamie Leroy said, boys, what happened with Billy Joe Saunders and Tyson Fury? They were tight.
They still tight.
Yeah, I don't what happened with them.
Yeah, that.
Um,
I mean,
I think they still, you might have to elaborate on that, bro, because
I mean,
I
sometimes,
actually didn't.
hold up. I ain't gonna say this. Sometimes jealousy can set in, because I doubt if Billy Joe bag looking like Tyson Fury bag. So if he thinks
Yeah, but
there's some
this
TMZ type of
dude
shit going
was
on,
a
there's a
this
reason.
dude this dude fought like a bum against Canelo. So what did he expect?
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, friendships, you have jealousy situation. If they was partners and this dude thinking that they not partners no more, there's a
I,
reason for that.
I heard, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard that Canelo is actually thinking about what's it called? Moving back down to 168, but not fighting, but not relinquishing none of his belts. I heard he's looking to fight a mandatory.
Who would that be? Yo, he
I
gonna
don't
fuck
know.
around and fight. He gonna fuck around and fight John Ryder, yo.
Back on that European tour, baby.
He's gonna be back on that European tour fighting John Ryder.
See how
Heard it
that
here
second
first.
leg go. I don't think he's gonna do numbers.
You done heard it here
Okay,
first, man.
answer me a question. Who the bag in the game right now? Now that
Well,
your boy is dwindling, he took the loss. Obviously, he dropped off the pound for pound list. Probably was never on there. Once you cheat,
Truthfully, outside of the heavyweights, because obviously you got AG and Fury. Outside of those two,
but heavyweight is always the biggest bag in boxing.
yeah, I can't. Yeah, you can't even count heavyweights in this.
that's what I said.
That's what I'm saying.
Outside, that's what I said. Outside of those two,
Okay, yeah.
probably
Is it
still
Spence?
Canelo, Errol Spence, Errol Spence,
Tank.
Tank Davis.
Tank
But
up
then,
there.
bro, are we
What
actually
Latin
saying Tank's
fighter?
the bag
What
and he
Latin
done
fighter
50,000?
outside of Canelo? What Latin fighter?
I'm gonna say that's isolated.
What? The last fight?
Tank. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's isolated.
Fair enough.
What Latin fighter outside of Canelo? Who y'all think is like the bag? Is it
Ryan.
Ryan?
I mean Ryan, but I mean the fighter that's making the most money right now is Jake Paul.
I mean, he might. If I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I'm fucking with his business acumen right now.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If he actually take a couple dudes, bro, that money situation that he talking about could wiggle him into a situation with this dude.
That's I was, bro.
I'm
Me
not
and you are
going
thinking the
to
same
fucking
thing.
lie. And he's a dude
I was
that
thinking the same thing.
He believes in himself so much, he'll probably do that in 1 year and get your boy by 24.
No, dude. You know why? But you know why I was thinking the exact same thing? Because Jeff, who is calling out Jake Paul every day?
Who's calling him out every day?
Every day.
Oh, Tommy Fury.
No, not just Tommy Fury.
I don't know who else is calling him out every day.
Bradis.
Is he?
Bro, did you not know that?
I didn't
Brady's
know
got
that.
a tattoo of Jake Paul on his leg. He literally been calling this dude out go onto his Instagram every single day. There's a post of him wanting to fight Jake Paul.
That
And
is
my point,
embarrassing, bro.
Brady's want
exactly,
that bag, bro. That's all that shit about.
exactly. We're
But that's
talking
a
about
good fight, though. But ain't Brady's 175?
no, Brady's cruiserweight, but that's my point. We're talking about arguably one of the best fighters,
No,
like
he
definitely
too
top
big.
20.
He too big. That ain't a good
But
fight.
of
He
course
got to
not.
fight somebody 175 and under.
But my point is this: like, if let's say Jake Paul fought a Tommy Fury, if he beat a Tommy Fury, which is likely, or which is not likely, but it's possible, we're talking about a dude who would invest in himself, bro. He would invest in himself to get the bag, bro. So that's why I'm agreeing with Blunt. This dude could actually find himself in a situation where he's getting he's getting a vacant strap, or he's getting a title defense or a big name. You see my point? I'm actually being dead serious when I'm saying this
I've been
dude.
seeing this shit quietly. Him making these managerial moves,
This
getting more of that backdoor
dude is
info.
smart, bro.
I'm
He's
That's what
fucking
I'm
smart,
with
saying.
bro.
I
I'm
ain't gonna
fucking with
lie,
his
bro.
business acumen,
I'm not. You know, I've been a little bit of a, a hater. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to admit that, but I'm seeing how he wiggling. I still respect his game inside the ring, but the business moves, which I've been learning from the fellas a lot over these years, chopping with them, is a big part of how you play in this sport. So you gotta pay attention to that. And I'm thinking I'm seeing this dude maybe, kind of reach out to the right hands and, get a handshake under the table type of thing.
Yeah,
And the truth is, we've seen corruption in boxing, bro. All this dude needs to do is go 12 and he's winning the world title.
DM3 Entertainment in the building.
big shout out to DM3 Entertainment. What's going on with your family? Jamie Leroy, Billy Joe Saunders wasn't even seen once at the Dillian fight, and Billy Joe Saunders has always been in Tyson's fights. Okay, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, but
I
that
don't know.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Billy Joe Saunders doesn't even want to be seen right now. This dude's at 560 pounds right now. I think he's heavier than Tyson Fury. Have you not seen the pictures of Billy Joe Saunders?
That's that man coming off them roids. They said it's like your body go through some changes if you been using something for a certain amount of time. Like you'll blow up, get that water weight and all that type of stuff. So man, hope he get his health together if he that.
Have you not seen the pictures, Blunt?
Nah, I ain't
I'm
really
not sending
seen.
you the picture. I've sent it to you, Jeff, haven't I?
Yeah. Send it to me on the gram. Send it to me on the gram. Yeah, damn. I mean, I don't hate Billy Joe Saunders, but damn, bro, you don't supposed to let yourself go. At least, old boy, what's the Latin dude? He trying to get this. He got himself back together. You remember
Chino
Maidana.
Maidana.
Yeah. He
Nah, bro,
training now, so that's
dude's
helping him.
ballooned back up again. He's back to 560 pounds again. He's ballooned back up again.
Wasn't he just at somebody fight recently? I
don't think so.
I saw him like
he connected to somebody that just had a fight, and they was talking about how he was in the gym and he got interviewed. And he was saying, "Yo, this dude only has to do this, that, and the third." I forget the fighter. It was a Dezan card. It may have been from like a couple weeks ago, but I had to double back. But I think he's still in the game, so he still got the opportunity to be in the gym, cut weight, work with the dudes. I know he ain't coming back to the sport like that, but you got to use it. Maybe Billy Joe ain't been around no gyms. So
hey vlog, you'll appreciate this one. Fuck Billy Joe Saunders, right? He like Pops. He like Pops in the beginning of Friday. He's like, let me get a 2-piece special and all the fries you give me. That's Billy Joe Saunders, yo.
You say bottomless fries at Red Robin?
Just fill the bag up. Just fill the bag up to the tip. Just fill it up to the tip.
My favorite Friday line that Jeff always makes it so amazing when he says it is the "Get up, Craig." That is so funny.
Oh yeah. Yo, that shit is hilarious, man. He rolling around on the ground. Come on, Craig. Get up, Craig. Come on, Craig. I just want to better than that, Craig. Come on, Craig.
I gotta use that one. I gotta use that one. You sound like CS Steel right there.
Right.
Could you imagine you being knocked out on the floor and your dad just saying "Get up"? Like that was just so hard.
Yo, he was rolling around.
Man, I'm expecting my dad to put foot You don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't put foot in somebody's ass for knocking me out. Don't worry about me. I'll wake up, motherfucker.
I said, I done told him better than this. I done told him better than this. He gonna be a man.
But I get it, though. You know, one-on-ones, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in that era of one-on-ones, so you had to get it in. So
Yeah,
it was a mismatch. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, that's a fucking fact, man. We close this drawing out, man. Two
hours.
I
gotta get out this dough.
2 hours and 10 minutes strong. Yeah, man. Hey, vlog, give me your social media, bro.
Boxing First Vlog, man, right there on your screen, YouTube. You can see the live playbacks, whatever. Doing regular videos, boxing news, hot topics, things like that. Expect some videos popping out this week. You know what I'm saying? Got the little schedule twerk, so I'm able to get back in the laboratory, as Jeff likes to say, and do what I do. So look for me on IG, boxing number 1 VOLSTVOL. You know what it is. Number 1, man. Put the 1 where the word first is. Goddamn it, shit. And hit us up on the revised G5JeffTV.com. VP Shane working on that as we speak.
Bro, it's not even me, bro. They're trying to stop. We're waiting on one thing right now.
One thing.
And the truth is blunt. I spoke to them. Me and Jeff's been corresponding with these people, and they're literally just prolonging the inevitable. Like, the truth is blunt, and we'll speak off camera. We're working on something so big.
I get you, bro, but them motherfuckers in that login scenario that they had cracking, they got to fix that. That shit ain't gonna fly.
Well, that's part of what we trying to fix.
Okay.
That's part of what we're trying to fix, bro, because right now, like, the options that we're getting, it's not like they're just I don't know how serious they think we are right now, because they're responding to us, but they're responding to things that we've already said in the original email.
It's to the point we need to set up like a Zoom meeting or something with them.
Like, literally. Because
you got to put your foot on some of these people next, man. You know what I mean? You know how it is.
We spoke to them last week, and everybody who's listening, it's in relation to the next season. We want something for the next season of the Fantasy League. So they're really prolonging it, and it's going to be worth everybody's while. It's going to be in everybody's benefit. Everybody who joined last season's Fantasy League, it's going to be a chance for everybody to make money. Everybody's going to be making money this season. Everyone.
Facts. Everybody.
So we're just working on something right now. We're doing something that nobody's done. That's what we're doing. We're doing something that we already set precedent. Google News and articles and Fantasy League. We've already done that. We're setting another precedent. We're going one step further, but they're just holding us back. But we can't hold us back for long.
Hey, Shane, I had mirrors selling out all over the country at one point, man.
Literally,
mirrors going flying off the shelves, baby. You know what I'm saying? JB Leroy said, "Okay, boys, later. Keep up the good work. This channel was fire, man.
Season 3's coming as well, bro.
Season 3 coming, bro. Even if we got if they not talking what we talking, and we got to take our show somewhere else, we willing to do that as well. You know what I'm saying? Shane, give me your social media, bro.
I_am Shane, the number 1. And blunt, you know the craziest thing? Normally it's the money that messes things up. The money's already been that's already been down pat. It's everything else, bro.
I know politics, man, the technical issues and all that nonsense. People don't understand your words. You like, what do I need to come spell it out physically for you? Like,
that's literally what we got to do. That's literally what we got to do.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, we'll speak tomorrow. We'll speak to you.
You had to let me know when you're not asleep so I can call. I'll be feeling bad.
I'm gonna call y'all when I get off tomorrow before we go live.
Okay. All right. That'll work.
Start breaking down these fights for this week. So
that'll work.
These cards and shit, and we'll start.
Craig Richards versus Buatsi is a fight I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that's a good fight, man.
I want to see what Lemieux do. I mean, Lemieux got some pop. So
we didn't speak about Yoka versus Bokoli neither.
We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk. We gotta talk.
Really upset,
bro. Hey, vlog. I'm on the train coming back from a conference, right? So Shane brings up the fight. I said, "Yo, I think Bokoli gonna make Yoka fight a fight he don't want to fight." I was like, "I think Bokoli can win that fight." Shane was like, "Man, you fucking crazy, man. Yoka gonna win that fight." Yo, bro, he was like an 8-1 dog, bro. I was pissed.
when I went to go bet this shit, bro, it wasn't on the site. The little site that I mess with.
But see, this is part of the problem that we have.
Like last minute, y'all took it off.
This is the problem we're having with the company right now.
That's the problem that we're having with the company.
We're having with the company right now. That's the fights. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh shit! I know. I'm man. FanDuel, they terrible with boxing, bro. Fucking terrible. Yeah. Them fools had me pick a UFC fight, trying to do a little parlay situation and shit. Get a little coin because it wasn't, what I'm saying, wasn't enough for Charlo. You gonna drop 200? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Let me mix this up. Drop a half a note. You know what I'm saying?
How much did you win? How much did you win?
Huh?
How much did you win?
118 off the 50.
And how much you win last week?
I gotta go check them numbers and shit. I just messed up.
You're on a winning streak right now.
No, FanDuel touched me the last 2 days, man. I lost both basketball games, and then I lost like 4 baseball games. So, but when I do the other website with the boxing, I'm running. But the boy, the heavyweight from Alaska, man, Australia, man, he went down there and got his bell rung again, bro. The dude that's like 12-1, the Gallon dude who walked out that interview, who walked out the press conference, he got his bell rung again. And I said in my preview, I said, oh boy, dude, he long. He got issues with fighters that fight long. And that other cat whose name is hella hard to pronounce, he was fighting long and he got to him again. So yeah, I missed that one on there, but I got all the rest of them. So I'll be close. So tap in, man, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, get a little bit of tips, get a jewel real quick from an OG. I got you. I do my homework all the time.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm on a 2-bet winning streak at the moment. A third one will get me Will Stokes money for the season 2. I gotta have set company fundraise that one. So Will Stokes, I'm working on that season 2 package, baby. I'm working on it. If I hit the night, I'm gonna go grab that tomorrow, go deposit it, slide that thing to you. We'll be ready for season 3, man. I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, G5 Jeff TV. Vlog, just to let you know, Facebook, between my personal channel and the actual boxing channel, we did about like 4 and some change. We did like 400 and some change off the joint Saturday.
And Twitch done numbers as well.
Twitch did numbers as well.
These combined numbers, man, they're gonna have to start respecting them, man, because we don't bring them, you know what I mean, that smoke.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like when because we're on so many different platforms, this is what I be trying to explain.
And this is the beginning. This is only the beginning. I swear to God, this is only the beginning.
You only can see. You can't judge us by one platform. You can't judge us by one platform. So
we are right now. We're distributing to 6 platforms, and this is only the beginning. Like literally, only the beginning.
Yeah, like it's crazy because I'm like we did 50. We did 50 on Twitter Saturday. We did about close to 500 on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We did numbers on Twitch. And then we did numbers on Vlog channel too.
And then numbers on your channel.
Right. Yeah. So you have to add it up across a whole board. And the board's not even complete
in the time, we chop up the clips and put them on Instagram. So
and then every time we chop up and put it on social media, we doing triple digits every time. So I'm like, you can't sit and look at Vlog channel and be like, oh, well, they ain't doing no numbers. Or look at mine and be like, they ain't doing no numbers. You literally have to add up 10 different locations. Literally. Mm-hmm. And there's still 2 of them we haven't even established yet. We haven't even introduced you to 2 of them. So it's gonna be like
2
BS.
Oh, but remember, BS brings so much. BS brings so much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? So you got that. So you got that, and then you got the DJ Vlad play. That's the second one with the articles.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we got 2 other moves that we ain't even put y'all onto yet. So when it's all said and done, we gonna have 12 different locations.
Maybe even more.
It may be even more than that. So it's like no matter where you turn, you're gonna see Vlog, you're gonna see Shane, you're gonna see me. No matter where you're at, and don't let Twitch actually start fluctuating on a regular. That's a whole nother one.
Facts.
So listen, man, we're gonna be back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We definitely got to talk Yuka Bakoli. We didn't talk about that. We need to start breaking down these fights for this weekend, and something's gonna happen between right now and tomorrow, and that'll be
It
another
always
topic on
does.
the show. Something
Something
always
happens.
does. Something always does. And if I lose this bet, you're gonna hear me snapping tomorrow, as soon as the show start. You know what I'm saying? So listen, on behalf of VP Shane, boy Boxing First Vlog, and G5 Jeff TV, we will be live tomorrow, episode 92. Appreciate y'all.